Hey, all you cool cats and kittens. No, I'm just joking. This is Anthony, a Tornado Tag Podcast. This episode is going to be very light on news. We're going to talk about some more releases, how Raw's ratings have been low, and some new MLW news. And then we dive into SmackDown, Raw, NXT, AEW. Who won the Wednesday Night Wars this week? Tune in to find out what you thought we thought. That didn't make sense. Tune in to find out what we thought of the Wednesday Night Wars. That's what it is. You can support us over on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Twitter is Tornado Tag Pod. Instagram is Tornado Tag Podcast, as well as Facebook. We just put the unboxing video up of Pro Wrestling Crate. If you want to get your own Pro Wrestling Crate, the link is below. You could use our referral code. And then we end the episode talking about some Dark Side of the Ring and some new ideas that we have for the podcast. So we're trying to get some interviews with people. So if you want to do an interview with us, if you're in the wrestling business or even if you're a super fan or a podcast guy, we are looking for more people. So hit us up. We'll do some side shows. They won't so much be the podcast of everybody. It'll just be a one-on-one interview with me and you can tell your story instead of trying to cram them into the episodes. So I really hope you guys enjoy this week. It's me, Andy, Brian, and Tyler on the phone. So here's some no rain checks. We'll see you on the other side of the music, and we'll get this show on the road.
You've got desire, you've got the look in your eyes. You're on a mission, burning ambition. You've got your eyes on the prize. You've gotta rise to the challenge. Show 'em what you've got. Step up and take what's yours. You are kings now, Clash of Titans.
Hey everyone, what's going on? This is Anthony with Tornado Tag Podcast. Got everyone on the phone again today. So we got Tyler, Andy, and Brian. Yeah, we'll jump right into it here. The first of the news, we'll start. Brian, you want to talk a little bit about this MLW news?
Yeah, big news for them. MLW has announced a pay-per-view partnership with In Demand. This broke yesterday, where they're going to bring some MLW events beginning next month to In Demand pay-per-view, which is, I believe, the largest pay-per-view carrier on cable. So Battle Riot is going to be on May 7th. Battle Riot is basically like a Royal Rumble, but you can pin in their submissions too. They're doing a Saturday Night Super Fight on May 14th and MLW Opera Cup 2019 on May 21. So they're basically replaying some of their old shows from last year on pay-per-view.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
That's a great way to get more people into your product if you start putting it out there now, you know?
Yeah, and if you want to watch the old Battle Rights, they're on YouTube. They're like about an hour long because it's like a Royal Rumble, but it's like anything goes kind of.
Yeah,
they're actually they're really fun matches. I actually really like them a lot.
And then we'll get more into this later, but Raw ratings have been pretty low, right, Tyler?
Yeah, they apparently have been at an all-time low. The third hour Raw, especially this week, was the lowest it's been in 25 years, and that's not a good sign.
No. We'll dive a little deeper into that in a minute when we get to the Raw section, and then the last bit here we have some more releases. Whoever wants to jump on that one.
I'll take that. That's
Okay.
sorry.
No problem.
The big ones were Curtis Axel, Cain Velasquez, what a career he had in WWE,
Yeah.
and as far as a furlough, Gerald Briscoe, who had been with WWE for 35 years. He's been furloughed, but he was a scout, so there's no real college wrestling going on. Yeah, what are you going to do?
We just scout right now. I mean, yeah.
Well, NASCAR is coming back. Maybe they're going to find the next Sparky
well,
plug.
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, we can get the next Spark E plug, baby. I like that. That's awesome.
Oh, I have such a great meme I got to make of that Bob Holly picture that you sent them, Brian.
Oh, the Hollywood.
Beautiful Bob Holly.
Yeah.
That was from Smoky Mountain. That was him right before he became Sparky. Well, first he was Sparky Thurman Plug because STP, and then he wanted to just be Bob Sparkplug Holly.
That's so funny.
But sorry, just to kind of go like a little bit of old school thing. Briscoe, Gerald Briscoe and his brother Jack and Jerry Briscoe both came over to WWE in '84 when they basically stole the TBS time slot. And they took Vince took Georgia Championship Wrestling right out from under Ole Anderson, and they didn't last long as wrestlers. And the reason they stopped is they came to New Jersey for a match, and Jack Briscoe, Jerry's brother, saw snow on the ground. He's like, "Nope, I'm going home." He went to Florida and never came back.
Oh, that's funny.
I have some quick stuff here.
I forgot Cain Velasquez was on the roster until I seen that.
Yeah.
Well, he was supposed to be in the Rumble, and then they just didn't do it.
I think he's hurt.
But I think they thought he was going to get, like, when they signed him, they thought, like, I guess Vince was like, look at this Jack UFC fighter, we'll have him in a Ronda, and that's not what happened.
Some people think they just wanted Brock to get his win back.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I think they just wanted Brock to get his win back, and they didn't really have any plans for him.
Yeah. One of the not a really big news, but just kind of something to think about is Kofi Kingston is putting Lesnar over pretty hard. He said he credits Brock Lesnar for putting together the WWE Royal Rumble spot, and he says that regardless of what people think, he has he has an amazing wrestling mind. You know, I was very in the anti-Brock Lesnar corner for a very, very long time. But, I mean, after looking at everything that's been going on the past couple of years and the payoff with Drew, I think it worked. And I think the Royal Rumble spot even put Drew over harder. It is unfortunate that this virus thing happened because I think it's taken a lot of steam out of a lot of this title run right now that Drew has.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Definitely.
What a terrible time to finally become world champion when you can't have any fans in the arena.
Yeah,
and
like, imagine.
all the views are at an all-time low because people don't even want to watch wrestling right now because it's so weird without a crowd.
Yeah, and they always had a history of having a hard time booking a bigger guy, and I mean,
except for that one guy.
Yeah, but it's just like I don't know. It's just tough. We'll talk more about it when we get to Raw. I'm sure we all have our opinions. I know I do. With that being said, let's jump right into SmackDown. I have a little bit of stuff here open, but Brian does a great job steering the ship here, so we'll just jump it over to Brian and we'll go through SmackDown.
Are you ready for a good time? So we opened up here with the New Day as the new tag team champions coming out, just going over them becoming the new tag team champions. They're interrupted by the Lucha House Party. Then and they also brought up that they had more tag team title reigns than the Hart Foundation, the British Bulldogs, and Demolition. The Demolition. I'm like Rick Derringer in the song.
The Demolition.
As far as I can think, Hart Foundation had 2, Demolition had 2. Or maybe three, and the Bulldogs had 1. It's not the biggest thing to put yourself over.
It sounds better than it actually is.
Yeah, and then Lindsay Dorado and Lucha House Party comes out. Miz and Morris. That's just basically a jumble of tag teams. It all ends up with the Forgotten Sons coming in and kind of beating up the New Day and Lucha House Party. Throughout the show, they're airing clips of Triple H's career as a retrospective. And then the first match of the show was another Money in the Bank qualifier, King Corbin beating Drew Gulak. Yeah,
it kind of went exactly how I thought it was going to go. It wasn't a terrible match, though. I thought it was.
I don't think Drew Gulak's capable of having a terrible match.
No,
he's good.
No, I thought, regardless of what everyone else kind of thinks about him in the chat, I'm a fan of him. I don't mind Corbin at all. He's a bigger guy, but as athletic, I think he moves very well in the ring. I don't know. I think a lot of people. I don't know. I like his style, and I think he's a great heel.
When does Drew Gulak start getting something out of this partnership with Bryan? Like, what has he accomplished since him and Bryan have been a team up?
He's getting TV time that he wasn't getting before.
Yeah, that's definitely it. But
here's the being on the show.
Here's the thing.
Bryan got to be on part of WrestleMania, and Drew just losing every week on TV.
But you're still there. It's I would say you're better. It's better than it's good to be on TV than just not being used at all.
I think it depends because you can you can be on television all the time, but then you don't want to turn yourself into a Curtis Axel, where you're only being put on television so you can do the job every single week.
Yeah, but he's not going out there doing the
No,
job
no,
and looking
that's not
terrible
gonna be
while
the
he's
goal,
doing
but-
it. He's just he's going against heels that are cheating, so it kind of it helps his story, I guess, a little more.
For
He's not,
sure.
Yeah,
He's definitely not being buried. He's looking
Yeah.
good in his losses.
Yeah.
I just hope it finishes to a thing where maybe him and Brian realize, hey, we're getting outnumbered a lot. We're losing because of interference. We need to bring in a third guy, and that's when they bring in Chad Gable, and he kind of will be with the team. That's my hope. But
Yeah,
That would be great if you put Gulak and Gable as a tag team. That would be amazing.
That'd be a great angle. Yeah.
But yeah, for right now, he's the guy that's going to heat guys up for Daniel Bryan. That's kind
Yeah.
of his role, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. Which I don't think is a terrible spot to be in. Because listen, when you go on huge losing streaks, if you go out there and do the job and do what you're supposed to, they will eventually, hopefully, it's not always a guarantee, but they do throw you a bone, you know? I think it's only a matter of time.
Next match was a squash match. Sheamus beat Daniel Vidot, and Sheamus'
Daniel
big thing now
Vidot.
is, the Daniel Vidot, that guy, yeah. And the big thing here is Sheamus kept demanding respect throughout the match.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like they're still working toward the Sheamus-Jeff Hardy feud eventually, because they keep throwing it to Jeff Hardy packages as Sheamus is finishing his matches.
Yeah, what is the payoff there? You have Sheamus come back in the greatest shape of his life, and with an injury that he probably shouldn't even be wrestling anymore. Comes back, dominates a bunch of jobbers just to lose to Jeff Hardy's return.
yeah,
I think he might wind up on the...
It's one of those things where it's tough because either way, it's like, well, what the hell is what's the point? Like, you know, if you have Jeff lose, it's like, okay, well, Jeff just lost his return. If you have Sheamus lose, it's like, okay, well, he just lost his first important match.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a situation, but
It's
I mean,
it's just a
it's
weird
feud that
pairing.
hasn't been done. It hasn't been done a million times, so like I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just wrestling. Ideally, somebody's got to win, somebody's got to lose. You can't have everybody. When you try to make everybody equal, then you get no stars. So you got to do something. And speaking of everybody equal, and you make no stars, the Lucha House Party beat Miz and Morrison.
What are they doing with Miz and Morrison?
Here-
Poor John Morrison.
I think Miz is in the doghouse.
Yeah, I think the same thing. I think this is just because Miz
I'll tell you
made
what, though.
Roman mad.
When Lucha House Party
Not
came
allowed to say that
down,
name.
when Lucha House Party came down, and then the Miz and Morrison came down, and then the Forgotten Sons and stuff came down. I think the best part about that segment, though, was Miz and Morrison. They're like, people are going to pay for this. They're going to interrupt us, and they're like, yeah, man, it's crazy how the Forgotten Sons came down. Like, no. I don't know if you've seen what we've seen, but this is all on Lucha House Party. Like, they went for the easier target and still lost. So I thought when it came to like
that was funny. That did
yeah,
make me
I think
laugh.
when it came down to the entertainment factor, I thought it was a good. It set up very nice. The match maybe wasn't the most spectacular thing, but I thought the setup to it was hilarious. That they're just like looking for the easier way out.
How about the fact that one of the Forgotten Sons lost his jacket and made a post on Twitter that if anybody had seen his jacket on eBay for sale, that it was stolen, and if they could report it to him. It's like, there's no crowd. How the hell did you get your thing stolen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Was
that
it-
had to be someone in the back. Or
Was Antonio from
Man.
PPW at the Performance Center?
it was the Masks men from NXT. They came in and took his jacket.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus,
Idiot.
this is worse than Jericho losing his title drunk at a restaurant.
You can't lose or misplace anything if you're part of a stable that's called it has Forgotten in it. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, I made that exact joke. I was like, looks like their jacket got forgotten.
Yeah.
And
Forgotten.
everybody was like, hey, yeah, don't go to comedy. Like, stick with writing. I was like, all right.
And
fair
really, what fan would want a Forgotten Sons jacket? I mean, if you're going to steal anything, it probably wouldn't be that.
yeah. Now the next one is actually a WWE superstar who is in the military that is actually getting over. Brian?
Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans defeated Sasha Banks in a Money in the Bank qualifier because Bayley got involved and it backfired.
Yeah, good match. I liked it.
It was Matt Turner that brought it up how Lacey is improving leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Every week you see her, she's getting better. She has a look, she has a persona, and now the ring work is getting there too, and it's really, really fun to see.
Well, it
Yeah.
seems like
I know-
she wants
I know-
to get better, you know?
Yeah,
I know
100%.
some people are
Tony
just,
are- Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's some people that are just there that are just like, they're like, I'm happy from here, I'm good with what I'm at, you know, but you can tell when someone wants to get better.
Yeah, there's a
totally.
few people who are showing up on TV as of recent, and they're putting on some really good matches. And that being said, 2 more of them are in the next match.
Yeah, the women's tag champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, beating Dana Brooke and Carmella.
Dana Brooke has looked fantastic in the ring since they've been giving her TV time.
Yes, she has.
I still hate it though that it was like, hey, we just want a tag team title shot. It's like, okay, you get one. Like I hate that they keep doing that on WWE television. It's just like all you have to do is say you want a shot, and there you go, you're awarded a title shot. It's like, damn, this is easy.
Yeah, well, they are getting. One of the biggest things we can't really hate on them too much for is we've been complaining that people aren't getting time to get on TV, and now they're giving people time. So it's very rushed because of the circumstances. So I get that, but I mean that's been going on for even before the COVID-19, where someone could walk down and be like, "You, me, title shot next week," and they're like, "All right," you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
right.
But I mean, on the same token, though, if you watch mixed martial arts, if you talk enough shit, you can get a title shot regardless of your ranking. So it's happening everywhere. But yeah,
and I think that it's some of it is the way they do it, especially because Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are baby faces. The way you do that is you have them call them out and ask for a title shot, and they say, "Okay, we're fighting champions, we're going to do it."
Yeah,
and that's the way you go about it.
Yeah. But one of the things that we reported a while back on the show is that Dana Brooke was one of those people. I believe it was Dana Brooke and Heavy Machinery who said that they were killing it on the house shows, and that they were actually staying after the shows and helping ring set up and ring teardowns and stuff. So like, she's really embracing herself into it, and it I think it's really starting to show, because I think she's doing fantastic on TV. And
you hear about that you would hear that about Dana at the Performance Center, first in, last out.
Yeah. And I mean, Carmella, I still think Carmella is one of the most underrated women on the roster. Doesn't get enough credit. I know she had a title run there that I really enjoyed, because she played that chicken shit title holder really, really well. But she has one of my favorite super kicks right now in the business. But yeah,
she has that cool submission where she like rolls him over with her, and it's like a head scissors, but it's like she's like like reversed,
like
inverted,
a triangle figure eight or something. Yeah.
I was like, that's a cool move.
The only problem
she props herself up on her elbow.
Yeah, too many women in wrestling now though have too many submissions. Everyone's finisher is a submission.
Well, geez, can a woman not have a submission, Tony?
Just too many. Everyone's finisher is it's either a submission or an elbow drop. It's like, come on, let them do something. Like that's when Ember Moon comes out, I'm like, all right, cool. Like I can't wait for this finish, because you'll actually see something different.
Ember's finish is amazing, though. That's one of the best finishes in wrestling.
Yeah.
I hope she can still do it as good when she gets off this,
that's
injury.
a good point.
Oh my god, my website that I have here does not go to the next match. What is going on?
That was the last match. The main event angle was the Triple H 25th anniversary celebration.
That's right. It doesn't even talk about that here.
Yeah, you had Michaels came out with him, and then Stephanie was on the phone, and Flair was on the phone, and Road Dogg was on the phone, and then Vince comes out and does Bad Vince comedy, and that's your celebration.
Did it?
My thing, Vince looks so old, man. Like, he was the first time I've seen Vince in a while where I was literally like, damn, he looks like an old man. Usually he's like such an over-the-top character that I forget that he's old in a weird way.
Sean looks older,
I mean, Sean looked old, too. Sean did look old as shit, that's for sure. But Vince looked almost like unhealthy, where like he looked like he was having a hard time standing up. He was hunched over and shit. I was like, Vince does not look good.
Every time Sean comes on TV, of course I get my little giddy boy thing going on, and Heidi's like,
you get your boy toy.
Yeah, and Heidi goes, why is he the sexy boy? And I was like, what do you mean? She goes, he is not good looking at all. I'm like, no. Back in the day, that man was a stud. She's like,
back in the day, you would have wanted him.
Dude, I had the same conversation with Janae, literally word for word. And I even showed her a picture of 90s HBK. And she was like, it doesn't do it for me. And I was like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, Heidi said the same thing. I showed her old school Shawn Michaels, and she's like, not really into it. I was like, don't you ever talk. Like, I might want to file for divorce.
I was gonna say, whenever someone says the Rock and Roll Express was like real good looking back in the day, I'm like, I don't see it. I mean, I obviously now,
I don't see that either. That's
I
crazy.
See it. I mean, they're great wrestlers, but good looking, I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
And you're 54 years old, Sean. So at this point, you should be the sexy man.
Yeah, the sexy man. He's getting there.
I think when it came to the skit, though, I think the only thing on the skit that entertained me was the Sean stuff. Stephanie was kind of funny, where she's like, "You lazy high mother," and it gets cut off. She said hi. It didn't stick as well as I thought it was going to, but it was all right. I guess if one of those things, maybe if there was a crowd there and they fed off the crowd a little more, it would have landed better. But It was tough. It was
But
tough.
Triple H is usually pretty good with comedy too.
Yeah.
He's usually pretty solid with that.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot better than it could have been. Like it could have been Triple H just coming out and kissing his own ass and being like, "Look how great I am," and all these great things that I've done. Instead, they like made it self-deprecating. So I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It's just weird that usually when you have that main event angle like that, it's going to lead to a match, and he's not wrestling Vince. Vince will die. So what's it going to be?
Who? All right. Well, let's do some fan speculation here. If we can get another Triple H match, let's say at upcoming SummerSlam, who on the roster would you like to see Triple H work against?
That's an interesting question.
Someone on Raw and SmackDown?
Sure.
Raw or SmackDown?
Raw, SmackDown. I'll even throw NXT in there.
Well, NXT, you think he wouldn't wrestle all his guys. It's like
Yeah.
him versus Finn, him versus Gargano, him versus Ciampa. I mean, that's I think like a reasonable match would probably be someone on Raw or SmackDown. So maybe
Him and Ciampa would be fun.
Andrade?
Him and
You
Ciampa
gotta
would be
pick up
fun.
that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why,
it-
but the first name that popped in my head was him versus AJ Styles.
You
Yeah.
can do that.
I can
Well,
see that.
he's dead, so you can't do that.
Oh yeah, well he died. Yeah.
He's dead.
I could just see the angle where AJ is running his mouth but I think you're gonna do AJ versus Edge at SummerSlam. I think that'll be a big time working match. But if they
Yeah.
we're just fantasy booking here.
Yeah.
I could see AJ doing a whole thing of every week, like, I'm the greatest wrestler of all time just because I lost to Undertaker, big deal. Like, I beat everybody else. And then Triple H gets sick of hearing about it and comes out and is like,
Time to
calm
play
down.
the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that would be
Comes out with his jacket.
that would be a good combination match of two guys, top of their careers at one point. And yeah, I like AJ a lot. I like that one a lot.
If you have any plans on using the guy, maybe they don't because of all the controversy and the injury and stuff, but if you have plans on using the guy and making him a star, maybe if Lars Sullivan's ready.
Yeah.
Someone said that he would be the hacker, but obviously it's going to be.
Oh my God! No, I
Can you
would not
imagine
put
that?
him in a gimmick where he is something to do with internet trolling. I would not.
He's a sweaty.
He just starts putting his gay porn up on the Tron. Look at me.
Remember when
Now
I
I can
called
take
someone
it.
a homo and then it got pulled
I
out?
said I hate him.
Yeah, I said I hate them.
Surprise, I'm a homo. It's like, okay.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. To be clear,
There's nothing wrong with that. To
No,
be
if
clear,
you,
exactly.
but if
Well, remember.
it's just very
surprise,
funny
Liv
that he
a
was very
lesbian.
anti it, and then he's like, "Oh, by the way, here's your skeletons. Check these out."
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Maybe him and Corbin.
I could see that. I don't
I
know
could
if that'd
see
be
it. I would
a
hate
big
it, but I could
draw.
see it.
I mean, I don't know.
Because they are. I mean, if anyone's trying to get a Triple H style run, well, not so much character wise, but I mean like the blueprint of their career. They gave him King of the Ring, and King of the Ring is the launching point for Triple H, and they're trying to do that with Corbin a little bit. Like they're not putting him in main title picture right now, but he's getting a lot of work and he gets a lot of screen time.
I would think if they wrestled, Triple H would win. I mean, that's what I would think.
Yeah, probably. I would think so.
Yeah.
You could always, anybody ready to elevate from NXT, if by SummerSlam you think Keith Lee's ready or somebody like that, you could do that too.
Yeah, I don't see Triple H going out there and having to win the match either. I think he would definitely put somebody over.
You don't know me very well.
Yeah, Sting.
That's different. He came from WCW. You can't let a WCW guy get over.
That's true. That damn
That is
WCW.
Vince's philosophy.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into some Raw.
A little bit of a change in the announce booth. Jerry Lawler is out and Samoa Joe is in.
Samoa Joe is fantastic on commentary.
I was say Smojo is very good on commentary.
I only watched a little bit of it. You know who else is very good is MVP. He was on Main Event,
Yeah.
and he was quite good on commentary.
I think Joe needs to just stay on commentary. Even though I love him in the ring, don't get me wrong, but he just is so injury prone right now that I would like to see him just take a Taz route and just become a straight up commentator.
Or even if you do the old Lawler thing where he maybe wrestles a couple times a year, and that's not going to be as taxing. I mean, you're always running the risk
Yeah.
that he might get hurt, but if he's not wrestling every week, then that risk goes down a little bit. So the Raw began with the VIP lounge. It was a standard. We're going to get a bunch of the people who are in Money in the Bank in the same spot together. And it was Aleister Black, Ray, and Apollo Crews. And then out comes Zelina's group that needs a name.
That was in Selena's group.
Yeah, Team Zelina. The Andrade, Angel Garza, and Austin Theory. And this leads just into an impromptu six-man where Apollo, Mysterio, and Alistair win when Apollo pins Andrade. And that brings us to, this is one of those things where this chains, and then later on we're going to get the U.S. title match with Andrade and Apollo. But first, we're getting a triple threat match that never happens between Asuka, Nia Jax, and Shayna Baszler.
Which I was actually really excited for this match. I'm going to be honest.
I was, but probably for a different reason. Why were you excited for it?
I wanted to see how they book the returning big Nia Jax. How they're going to put Asuka in there, and they're going to put the killer of worlds right now of Shayna Baszler, and you have three monsters in the ring. I just kind of see who come out, how they book that, who comes out on top.
That's why I was so disappointed how the shit turned out.
I had a different reason, because Nia's been getting a reputation for being a little too loose with everything and taking some liberties and hurting some people. I was like, I want to see her try that with either of these two.
Yeah. Yeah, you can mind your P's and Q's in there. you may not be like most girls, but those two girls can kill you.
Yeah.
But as it happened, she killed them because the whole segment was making Nia look like a monster headed into Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Actually, I did forget a news topic. If we could backtrack real quick.
Hey, of course we can.
We had
we mustn't.
We had one of the craziest non-fan matches of all time that took place in a bathroom that just kind of hit the internet. Tyler, I know what I'm talking about. There was a sharpshooter, a bathrobe.
Oh, right. My brain just went completely blank, and I was like, shit, why did he throw it to me? I have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. But,
Tony, you've been watching that apartment wrestling again?
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I thought I was watching.
You've been watching Magnificent Mimi?
Natty and her sister decided to get drunk, and Natty went to show everybody how to put on a sharpshooter, and it was amazing. It was the best video I've seen forever.
It was one of those things where it was like I was waiting for the Pornhub music to hit.
I didn't see the video. I just seen the two pictures.
I'll tell you what.
Oh, it's great.
How Natty's boobs didn't fall out is a miracle. Because they were just trying to. They were
trying to the whole time.
And then Natty throws a sharpshooter on her sister. Somehow her boobs don't fall out. And then as they release the sharpshooter, Natty's sister's dress goes up to the middle of her back, and she's just bare ass naked in the middle of the bathroom floor, twerking into her sister's crotch. It was the weirdest. Like, I shouldn't be into this because they're technically sister thing going on.
Sexual tension, yeah.
It was
be
really
into
strange.
it.
Yeah,
it's not your sister.
Yeah, I did not see the video. I didn't think it was a video. I just seen two pictures, and I thought, well, it's kind of
I'll
weird
tell you what.
Those pictures, but
Twitter,
pictures,
Facebook, Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit wrestling perverts are losing their Natty's their favorite of all time now. She has elevated to the spectrum.
It don't take much to win the pervy crowd over.
Oh my God, this put her in a new stratosphere.
Good. If she gets fired, she can start fans only fans.
Oh, yeah,
if she started a fans only, today, it would sell off the hook.
That's exactly what her sister should do. Her sister should start a fans only. She's not a wrestler. Shit.
It was out.
Would it outsell Tammy's?
Yes,
definitely.
If Tammy did hers back in the '90s, it would have been amazing. But
oh yeah, she would have.
Oh jeez.
Don't get me wrong. I'll still look at it. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah. If Jim Ross wants to share his account information, I'm down to look.
Yeah.
Well, if you have $20 and enough gas to get to Jim Thorpe, you might be able to, Tony.
Is that where she's at, Jim Thorpe?
I have no idea. I know she was in Carbon County Prison for a while. That's all.
She was, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to more Raw because that was pretty raw. That was the best match of the weekend.
Bobby Lashley beat Denzel Desjardins. Bit of a squash match. Suplex and a spear gets the win.
Yep. And then a little bit of a thing where he's telling Lana not to show up because she's too beautiful.
Yeah. She's far too distracted. It reminded me. There's this old music song I almost said. Yeah, as opposed to the other songs.
A non-music song,
like a movie film. There's this old song by Boss Rutan where he's just talking about I want to chill. And
like
it's about him.
Boss Rutan.
Yeah, Boss Rutan.
Not like my neighbor Boss Rutan.
Right, exactly. The Boss Rutan that does music songs. And it's all about him wanting to have sex with his girl, but he's like, I cannot have sex before a fight. And he's like, I can't even look at you. He's just the whole thing is
There's
about
a
how
hockey player that did that too.
The things that remind you of things, Brian. I don't know.
It's one of those testosterone things. Some people think now there's people who what's his name, Tyson Fury, who he thinks you have to release that testosterone before the fight. So he tries to have sex the night before a fight and jerks off 100 times a week. And then there's some fighters that'll abstain from sex or anything to keep their testosterone higher before a fight. Like
women weak in the legs, Rock.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I think I would explode if I tried to wait for that during a fight. Like, I think I'd literally die. So
You get punched a little low, and you're like, "Oh, I just came."
Janae makes me wait 3 days, and I think I'm going to hang myself in the bathroom.
That's probably what happened, right? She made you wait, and then you're like, "It's go time," and you're like,
I was like, well, time to fucking pass out.
I see 3 of them. Fuck the one in the middle.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody knows what we're talking about. Tyler had a little bit of an episode. We won't get into it unless he wants to at the end of the show, because as soon as we're zooming through this. But yeah. So next match.
Next match was Liv Morgan once again defeating Ruby Riott and then saying she's done with her.
Yeah. So good match again.
Last time she wasn't really done with her.
Yeah.
So this time she is.
Good match again, but here's what happened. I fell asleep the first time watching Raw because I started watching it late because I recorded something. And then I woke up to the last week of Raw replaying and seeing the same match in the same ring gear. And then I rewatched Raw, and I'm like, did I just I literally watched 4 matches of Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan in a row because I didn't know which one was the most current one.
Yeah, it's tough when they keep making each other wrestle every goddamn week.
Yeah. Once again,
it
good
just seems
match.
like they have like a shorter crew too.
Yeah.
Pretty good match, yeah. Somewhere along the way here, they announced next week they're going to do the Street Profits and the Viking Raiders for the tag titles. Luckily, no carpool karaoke this week for the Viking Raiders.
Yeah, real quick. Liv's another one who obviously looks like she wants to get better in the ring, and it's showing.
Yeah, she's been doing great.
Mm-hmm. A little bit of a weird interview at the end where she's just saying like, "Oh, there are like so many people my age. I'm trying to figure it out." It's like she's just like the girl taking on the world. That's I guess her new gimmick.
Well, here's the thing.
Are you
more of a
25?
fan? Are you more of a fan of them now? Because it looks like it's something they are trying out, where they come into the ring and interview them immediately after their match, like it's a UFC fight.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I always like backstage
Yeah, I
interviews
kinda
and
like
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
I rather that than the backstage stuff because they go backstage and then it's like they like I like it when it's spontaneous in the ring and you don't have
Yeah, they
that
always
weird.
like it.
Awkward, like where one person leaves before the next person. I wish more wrestling would adopt that, so whoever wins stays in the ring and the other person can kind of skeet off, and then they do their thing. Yeah,
I always liked it on Nitro too when Okerlund would interview them at the top of the steps or top of the entrance,
yeah,
either before they're starting the match.
that,
or
yeah.
yeah. I hope they keep that. I think they would do more of that, do more stuff in front of the crowd and not so much backstage.
Especially now because it seems like Charlie Caruso's gimmick is that she is a interviewer who just has no respect for social distancing. She's just running up to everybody.
Yep. Hey, achoo!
Not that I would care. I'd be like, hey, come here, Charlie. But you know what I mean? I mean, 6 feet, please.
Yeah.
Zip. Let's measure it. Oh no, that's a big dick joke that I don't have. All right.
I don't think any human on Earth has a 6-foot dick. Or
You
they'd
never
be
know.
in the hospital.
I've seen some things on the internet.
Clearly, you don't know Too Cold Scorpio.
His dick is 10 feet long.
Colonel Robert Parker.
Jeez.
All right, next thing on Raw. I'm
The
excited.
next thing, you are excited.
I'm
I
pumped.
bet, yeah.
I'm pumped for this.
Jinder Mahal.
Welcome
with
back,
his-
baby.
With
Welcome
his new
back.
with his new haircut that shows how much he's balding, defeated Akira Tozawa.
Took a lot of muscle mass off. Still very big,
Really?
but he's a lot leaner. A lot leaner.
Well, now at least his legs match his upper body. So that's
Yes,
good.
his upper body is not. He's not built like a genie coming out of a bottle anymore. He's still he still has traps. But he's a lot. He kind of looks. He's a more of a Sheamus built now. He's a lot more lean. Looks great.
They probably both go to the same. They probably both go to the same doctor.
Yeah, looks great. Looks amazing. Listen, you could put anything you want into your body. But at the end of the day, you still got to work for it. So
For sure.
yeah, so I don't condone. That's not my condoning steroid speech. But yeah,
Look, it's an upper body business.
yeah. But he looks fantastic, and I'm listen, he's gonna come back. He's gonna win your hearts over. I'm telling you, he's gonna be that guy.
He's gonna win our hearts over.
He's gonna win your hearts
He's
over.
gonna win Money in the Bank.
Oh boy.
I hope he wins Money in the Bank, baby.
I could see him and Drew feuding because hey, they were a 3-man band and Drew needs
I think
heels.
that's definitely happening. I
So I
hope
see that down the line.
I hope they don't use Money in the Bank just for that feud because I feel like you can make that feud happen. You don't need the Money in the Bank for it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That feels like a match on Raw more than a feud for me.
Yeah, I would agree. But you never know. You never know.
You know what, Vince? We just said it. It's an upper body business.
Right.
Because after
Jinder
God
gets,
damn, he
Jinder gets
looks
that
like
belt
Great
back.
Tiger if he stole Super Macho Man steroids.
after the Seth though, like who's Drew gonna feud with?
That's a good question.
There's not a lot of heels on
Jinder.
Raw. Well, I mean, there are.
Yeah.
There's Randy and
Andrade,
AJ, but they're both out.
Well,
There's not a lot of heels, period. Okay, see, just look at Raw and SmackDown. Your number one heel is Bray Wyatt. Your number two heel is probably Seth Rollins. Who's number three, Andrade?
I guess so. Yeah.
I would say Randy when he's healthy.
He's
or
not
when
there.
On the show. Yeah.
He's not there. He hasn't been there since WrestleMania. AJ would be up there too. He's not there. He's dead.
No, yeah.
Yeah, right
Hopefully they can
now,
bring him back.
that's a good point. But it's just, that's what I mean. That's why these shows aren't working either, because they're using the same, 12 bodies for every show.
Exactly.
I don't mind using the same 12 bodies. My problem is
they're stuck.
My problem is you have everyone going for. It seems like you have now. I'm super contradicting myself because this is the same thing that was going on NXT a couple months ago with the women's division, and I was super invested in it because they were actually doing a good job telling the story. Where on Raw, it seems like everyone's going for the top spot, which they should be because that's what you'd want. But the problem is every single person's going for Drew. But then, they're also in 2 other feuds with 2 other people. So there's just so much cross-contamination right now when it comes to storylines.
I think some of that is it's just a unfortunate circumstance of they are on a shorthanded roster right now, and you kind of have to have everybody vying for the title when you're doing Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
I think after Money in the
that
Bank,
makes
that's going to
sense.
clear up a little bit.
Let's hope so. Because, listen, I'm all for... Honestly, I'm more for watching Andrade possibly dropping his title and going for Drew than I am Seth. How does Seth lose to
for sure.
Kevin Owens? I know, obviously, I understand that Kevin Owens is probably
And where is Kevin Owens?
He's staying at home with his family, probably. But realistically, Kevin Owens should be your guy going for the top spot right now. If anybody, it just sucks that he's not there.
Yeah. But he wasn't face when he was.
Yeah,
WrestleMania, right? Yeah.
Thing,
Yeah, I don't. That whole face heel thing when it comes to a title
He
shot.
gave a good promo, though. He gave a promo the last time he was seen, and his promo was, I need to go back to being a prize fighter.
Yeah.
Which, to me, is him saying, when I come back, I'm going after the title. So I hope that's what happens.
That the whole you need a heel versus a face thing to me doesn't do anything because as long as you book it properly, it doesn't matter because you can have 2 guys that walk. It's kind of like MMA. You can have 2 guys that shake each other's hand and kiss each other on the mouth before the fight, and sometimes those are the best fights in the business where you have 2 guys that hate each other and then feel each other out for 4.5 rounds. So
What fights are you watching where they kiss each other on the mouth before?
Heath Herring in Japan.
You watch that Natty?
But no, where they give each other that mutual respect. But I don't know, that. So that doesn't do much for me when it comes to that. I know it should more in wrestling, but yeah, we're at a point now where it's hard to do what you got to do because of you have a limited staff and the people out there are working. But maybe work on getting some people in some other feuds before anything else. Because, like I said, there's too much cross-contamination. Andrade's jumping Drew, but then Drew's getting jumped by Seth, and then Drew and then Andrade and Apollo have this really good feud that more people want more of, but then you're like, well, we don't know what to do, so, you know what I mean? It's just really strange.
Speaking of Andrade, the next match was Andrade defeating Apollo Crews to retain the U.S. title. Really good match, I thought, but the weird ending where it's a ref stoppage because Apollo had a knee injury.
Yeah, and I don't think that's the end of this. I still think Andrade finds a way to be in a Money in the Bank style match.
He definitely could, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And
either
I think
Andrade
Apollo
or
wins
it's
the U.S.
Mahal.
title. Or Jinder. I think Jinder could be in the... Or you said Mahal. I think you said Apollo, sorry.
Yeah, it's either Jinder or Andrade are going to be in the Money in the Bank, and it's making me wonder because either one of them could very easily win the briefcase. That's the only thing I like about this. People are like, "Oh, you're happy that Cruz got taken out." It's not even that. It's just the match needs another heel. So if you plug in a heel there, it makes it okay. It's not just obvious that Black's going to win because now it's very plausible that Andrade could win and feud with Drew. It's very plausible that Mahal could win and feud with Drew.
Yeah.
It's plausible that Baron Corbin or Daniel Bryan could win too.
And I mean, like, I'm shitting on the cross contamination, but it makes me more interested to tune into Raw next week to see how they put it together. So in one aspect, I'm not hating on it, but I'm confused by it. But it's enough confusion that I want to tune in next week to see what they're going to do. So for the first time in a while, I'm actually excited to watch Raw next Monday. You know what I mean? Like, how are they going to figure this out? You know, which is good.
And then the next match we had, it was a tag match with Ricochet and Cedric Alexander beating Everrise, Chase Parker, and Matt Martell. After which MVP said that Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink were challenging Ricochet and Alexander for a match next week.
I'm excited for that. I like the Ricochet Alexander partnership.
I like the partnership, but Raw's tag team division right now is so dreadful.
Don't they have a name?
Shit.
Isn't it Two Fly Crew or something like that? It's like Two Live Crew. Yeah,
I thought it was Too Fly, but that's what I read today.
All I know is Alexander lost his intro music, and they just come down to Ricochet's.
Which is crazy. That's so funny to me when one guy's like, "Listen, you know you're number 2 because they don't use your goddamn music."
Well, they could have did that thing where they just turn the music down for one guy and then turn it up for the next guy, like they did with the Kabuki Warriors. It was the worst.
That was so awful.
and then you have your tag team has music that says one and only, and that's the other thing.
Yeah, one and only. And Cedric's like, "Fuck you, man."
Only one person matters in this team, one and only.
Ricochet.
Cedric's like, "Fuck me."
Cedric's like, "All right, I'll walk out."
I'm going to be a janitor again.
It's like when you play the video game and you partner 2 people up and they just stick the second player 2 in the player 1's entrance, and the guy just walks out like, "I'm here."
They should have where Cedric is currently in the ring, and then Ricochet gets his entrance.
Yeah.
I wish Vince was hip enough to prank Cedric like backstage and be like, "Cedric, we're gonna come up with an idea for a new gimmick. You're gonna be called Little Swole." He's like, "What the fuck?"
If anyone would be Little Swole, it'd probably be Apollo Crews.
He legitimately is Little Swole.
Yeah.
No, Cedric's wife is Big Swole. That's a joke.
Yeah. Now, the ending of Raw here. Here we go.
Yeah, the Raw was built around Drew McIntyre saying the word shit, basically.
Yeah. They love
it's
it.
like Chris Jericho when he always drops it on Dynamite.
Wrestler
Yeah,
fans.
they're never gonna let Trent Beretta say it.
Yeah. Wrestling can say those certain low budget curse words, and wrestling fans eat it up. Like, yes, they did it.
They said shit.
They said
It's
shit.
the 90s all over again. They
Attitude
said
Era's
shit.
back. Confirmed. They said
Next
ass and
week-
shit.
They're gonna be telling kids to suck a dick next week. Yeah.
Can't wait for that.
Meanwhile, you watch ECW from 1995, and the crowd saying shit every time somebody punches Hack Myers.
Yeah.
And it's
Well, half the ECW crowd's freaking high on meth, so I mean.
Yeah, they all did some crystal meth before the show, and they're like, "This is
Woo, go Eagles!
God damn it was angel dust. Don't bring them down.
You're right, my bad. That's the grading to say it was meth. It was angel dust, bitch.
Yeah, so the Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre contract signing, I mean, it got a really good rating online, and people liked it. But man, you see one contract signing, you see them all. That's just how I look.
That's
There's
the
not
only
much
good rating it got.
Yeah.
There's not much you can really do with a contract signing.
How about
You
just
know, it's like a pro wrestling wedding.
how about just not do them anymore? How about just not do contract signings? We all know the match is happening. We trust me. We know that you both want to fight. You don't need to go on TV and take up 45 minutes of TV time of you guys yelling at
What
each
if they
other.
did it?
And I don't
cinematic
understand why do you only need to sign a contract for a match if it's like important? What about every match you have on Raw? You don't need to sign a contract for that match?
Yeah,
Go out there and
One week of Raw should just be 2.5 or 3 hours of everyone coming out and doing their signings.
signing contracts
and
for
then
the
the
next
next
week's
week,
matches.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and then they can fight and then build up this. No, you know what? That would be stupid. So just stop doing this in general. It's dumb. When AEW started doing it, I was like,
kinda
please,
over.
please, AEW, don't do this ever again. Stop with contract signings. Don't do this shit anymore. I fucking can't. I had enough of contract signings.
And the old thing was always supposed to be something where it's a way to get 2 people in the ring without having to do in a match. You don't really need to do that anymore. You can find a more creative way to do it. And they even made fun of the trope where it always ends in a fight.
Yeah, he's like,
Like, it's
you
coming.
should get out of here. It's gonna get crazy.
You
Like,
shouldn't have even been there. Like, when I saw Joe at the very beginning, I was like, oh, okay, well, Lawler's 70, he had a heart attack. Maybe he shouldn't be around a lot of people. And there he was.
yep. He's like,
Jerry's like, what do you mean it's going to get crazy? He's like, Jerry, is that where I come out here and do some new little splash?
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, Jerry, get the fuck out of here.
Jerry, I'm about
You
to.
gonna put me in the Haggis Hammerlock, Drew?
It's like, Jerry, get out of here. I'm about to fuck this dude's asshole.
Ew.
Oh my.
Yeah, that took a way left turn.
All right, here we go. That was Raw. So far, Raw and SmackDown. What are our overall thoughts of the shows?
Hated both of them.
Hated both. I thought Raw was a fun show up until that contract signing.
Nah, I
thought
hate strong word.
Yeah,
I only hate my baby mother and the IRS, but I didn't like it.
I'm more
Bland.
intrigued.
You gotta get
I'm
right
more
there.
intrigued to tune in next week to see some storylines.
I am. The only thing I'm really excited for next week will be the Wednesday shows, NXT in particular, because they loaded that thing. But
Yeah, NXT is
I
gonna be
thought-
fantastic.
I thought the Apollo match was pretty solid, but other than that, yeah, I honestly didn't watch SmackDown.
Oh, we didn't
And,
even talk about the dumbest shit on Raw. Well, in my opinion, the dumbest shit. But it's just the fact that they're saying that Apollo got hurt. So let's
Oh, yeah,
go
yeah,
him
yeah, this is
walking
terrible.
on crutches and crying because that makes total fucking sense. What a way to get a guy over. Let's have him cry on television.
Yeah,
People are
I
like,
don't-
it makes you feel for the character. No, the fuck it doesn't. I don't care that
it
he's
doesn't.
crying.
I hate when anyone cries. I hate when the girls cry. It's like, just don't cry. Don't cry on wrestling. please.
Don't show emotion.
There's no crying in baseball or wrestling.
Yeah, well, like the girls always cry when
they win,
when they win,
yeah.
or when they don't win.
Yeah.
It's like you don't see Drew McIntyre
Tony Storm
crying.
cries no matter what. She can lose and cry. She can win and
Yeah.
cry. She can
It's
post
like
a
Ric Flair.
pornography video and cry.
She could
cries
twerk,
all
cry.
day.
Has anybody watched the Stone Cold podcast or Steve Austin, whatever it's called, Stone Cold Sessions with Ric Flair?
No, I haven't.
He cries.
Ric
Oh,
Flair
well,
cries, yeah.
He
Flair
cries.
cries when he
And
cries.
Stone Cold no sells it. It's the fucking funniest thing in the world.
Get out of
Well,
it.
goddamn.
Dude, to watch Stone Cold's dead face by Flair sitting there bawling
Weeping.
is the funniest shit I've ever seen.
Well, he's probably seen Flair cry 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And he just like,
Okay,
and then finally he tries to babyface Flair. He's just like, stop it, you're gonna get me to start crying.
Don't you dare do it, man. I'll stun you up and down this bitch. I'll stop a mud hole in your ass. You make me cry, Jared.
Flair's like, you said I was the greatest wrestler of all time. Well, come on, Rick, calm the fuck
Yeah,
down.
you've never
Really?
heard that thrown at you ever before.
And my
Wow,
baby
what a
girl,
compliment. You've never heard
my
that before.
baby girl won the world title. It's like, yeah, she's like 6 times, I think now. It's like,
Isn't she up to 10?
not a big,
She's up to 10.
is she up to 10? Oh my god.
Yeah.
They're obviously trying to have it where she breaks his records.
Yeah, it's girl Flair. Yeah.
Do you think John
Which
Cena?
I don't think
do
they
you
understand.
Do you
It's
think
not the
Cena?
same record.
Do you think Cena ever comes back and does it?
No, he's in the
He
Phantom
said he,
Zone.
does,
They
he
can't.
said he doesn't want to.
Well, here's the
So
thing.
I'm going to say no.
When it comes to most titles in WWE, it's Cena. Like Flair's are all attributed to other promotions. Cena legit has 16 in the same company.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
What do you mean?
He won the WWF title twice.
I'm just saying, but like
Yeah.
16-time WWE champion is John
Well,
Cena.
but-
No one else is
Oh,
even.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, Flair's also had a lot more than 16.
Yeah, so,
I mean,
same with
say
AJ
world
Styles.
champion.
You know what I mean? AJ Styles is one of.
Yeah, and Jerry Lawler's like a 23-time world champion.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
bullshit.
So it's just weird. It's a weird stat, but yeah. So NXT, here we go.
Well, real quick before NXT, Impact. There was a big thing at the end of Impact where Tessa Blanchard hasn't been involved because I guess she was stuck in California. And Michael Elgin kept doing a thing where he's like, at the end of Rebellion, which is the name of the show they were doing, I will be the Impact World Champion. And he was going to wrestle Moose. Moose actually beat him, but Moose and Hernandez from LAX, the original LAX, came out too. It wound up being a 3-way. But Moose came out with the TNA title, the old TNA heavyweight title. And
What's going on there?
after he won the match, he declared himself the TNA champion because Tessa isn't available. Like Tessa's not leaving California, so they're going to use Moose as the champion until Tessa can
As
come
the
back.
Interim champion.
But yeah, but instead of calling him the interim champion, he's a TNA champion.
Oh, God. It's going to be like the WWE.
But
with
I've
the-
seen so many idiots
international
report it that he
title.
won the Impact World Championship. I'm like, no, he freaking didn't. All you have to do is watch the goddamn thing. Like, he's not the Impact World Champion. It's still Tessa.
Did you see he had a Ultimate Warrior themed gear on?
Oh,
For
it's
that?
terrible.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't fit him at all.
It looked like such shit.
Yeah, it looked like I thought it was like they were doing their spoof show, like that '80s show they did.
That was great. I love that.
Yeah. But I
I
don't
love the
think that's a
spoof
wise
show, but
decision.
that shit was terrible. When he came out looking like that, I was like, well, there goes my interest completely.
Yeah, I don't care for Moose. I don't think he's that good.
He looks fantastic, but that's
Yeah, it looks good. But he's in
He
ROH,
impressed
I'm
the
like, I
shit
don't
out of
get
me
it.
in person. He impressed me the most because I just told Tony right before the match started, I'm like, this big guy's not that good. And then he did a bunch of cool spots, and I was like, all right, maybe I was wrong.
Yeah.
He's fun to watch live just because of the size. Bigger wrestlers kind of pop more when you watch him live.
Yeah, it's a spectacle.
And then NXT we're going to jump into next, right, Tony?
Yep. NXT.
NXT with your hosts, Tom Phillips, Beth Phoenix, and Mauro Ranallo.
Mauro is back, baby.
So, very much the show was built around the Cruiserweight round robin. 3 matches of the round robin going on. The first one was Isaiah Swerve Scott defeating El Hijo del Fantasma.
Good match.
Both are now 1-1. Oh, yeah, the Cruiserweight matches were all pretty good.
Yeah. Except maybe one.
I'm starting to think this thing is more of a work. Oh, no, we're not even talking about that match yet, but I was talking about with Drake Maverick. I'm starting to think that's just a work.
Yeah.
It could be.
That pisses me off. I'm not going to lie.
I don't like what they're doing there. Either way. If it isn't or if it is, both are bad.
Yeah, neither. There's 2 ways it goes, and neither one of them are good. You're absolutely right.
Hey,
and
we actually fired a whole bunch of people. Let's make a story out of it.
Yeah, we're gonna say we're gonna fire you, but we're really not, and we're just gonna put it as part of the story. But you're not going to win the title because we don't like it as much.
Yeah.
Is EC3 really fired? Oh yeah, he's totally good.
Oh yeah, we don't like him. Vince
Yeah,
like
you
him.
tell that piece of shit to get out of the building.
They cheered for him instead of Ambrose, and Vince is still mad about it.
And then we had a little. Well, you brought them up earlier, but with the Forgotten Sons. But the Lucha people tried to kidnap Phantasma again.
The Lucha people.
Well, they're unnamed Lucha.
The unnamed Luchas.
That'd be a great tag team.
Is that sticking for anybody yet? Is anyone like, I wonder when they're going to show up?
No, I have no interest in this bullshit. The only thing I hope it does turn out is that it's really a Lucha house party and they're doing a gimmick of the Dark Order and they're just kidnapping people and making people wear Lucha masks.
I was about to say their name should be the Lucha Home Invasion.
Yeah.
What if they're... Because didn't they sign King Cuerno or whatever his name is, the big dude?
Not King Cuerno, no. That's Ricky Banderas, right?
Yeah.
I thought they signed him to NXT, or he was part of the recent signings.
I think they did sign him because he was one of the recent signees.
Really?
What if he's the leader of these dudes kidnapping people, and then that's going to be like NXT's Dark Order is this big ass dude in a lucha mask? Like,
no, I'm thinking of Mil Muertes. Ricky Banderas is Mil Muertes.
Oh yeah, Mil Muertes. He was the big dude in NXT.
No, but you're right.
No,
it was King Cuerno. Yep.
Yeah. The problem with that, Tony, the guy they tried to kidnap is King Cuerno.
Oh, that's right. That's what he was over in there. Yeah, you're right.
Wait, the guy
That's
who?
him.
Yeah, well.
Really? Del Fantasma is King Cuerno. Yeah.
Why did he look so big in NXT?
Well, in Lucha Underground, Jeff Cobb looked like he was 7 foot tall.
Yeah, that's true. Jeff Cobb did look like a monster, and you watch him wrestling Ring of Honor, and you're like, oh, he's kind of medium.
And then Luchasaurus actually showed up, and you're like, this guy's a fucking giant. All right.
I don't even remember Luchasaurus on Lucha Underground. Was that like season 3?
Yeah.
Or season 4?
I just seen a picture of him, and I'm like, that dude looks sick.
The one that blew my mind was Marty the Moth, because I remember him from Tough Enough.
Yeah.
It was Donny Osmond.
Yeah. Yeah, I suck at people when they put masks on and go to different promotions. I'm sorry, wrestling fans. All right.
I'm still wondering who Mr. America is.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure that one out.
He's not Hulk Hogan, brother.
It's not. I am not Hulk Hogan, brother.
I'm still waiting for fucking Owen Hart to come back. Yeah, because the Blue Blazer obviously is gone.
Oh my.
Oh, jeez, that's a tough crowd.
Yeah.
Listen, I love Owen Hart. It was me being a dumb wrestling fan. Go ahead. Next.
He's trying to make up for the fact that he had me believing his bullshit, forgetting that Queen Cuerno was already on TV.
And I'm saying that's the guy that's going to get kidnapped. Yeah.
When you said that, I thought of what's his name, Judas Macias from TNA. Remember him?
That's
who, Ricky Banderas.
He was Mil Muertes. I got their names mixed up. He was Mil Muertes.
This guy's 7 foot tall. They came out and was like, he's like 6'1" maybe, and he's wearing gear and he doesn't look like a demon at all.
Next thing, Gargano, Candice LeRae, Candice LeRae defeats somebody.
Yeah, before that, somebody.
The match was horrible.
Before that, you had a little promo setting up something for next week, because next week's NXT is loaded for bear.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have the new and improved evil Johnny Gargano is gonna have his first real match since he was instrumental in having Tommaso Ciampa's balls kicked, and it's gonna be him against Dominik Dijakovic.
Yeah.
And then
If Dijak doesn't,
Candace,
if
We're all
Dijak,
just dying to see that match.
if Dijak doesn't
Yeah.
kill him, I don't care.
Dijak's good, but like
he's
I don't
not
know.
good.
I'm not into him.
and then the match was Candice LeRae beating Casey Catanzaro.
Is anyone
that's the-
is anyone into this
the
fake
Warrior
Emma
chick.
Frost look for Candice LeRae? Because I'm not.
I don't hate it, but I'm not like in love with it. It's not like every other chick who turns heel all of a sudden gets super hot, but it didn't work for her, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Andy kind of brought up Casey Catanzaro was Ricochet's girlfriend. There was rumors, not rumors, she actually did leave for a little bit, but she's back now. She is from American Ninja Warrior and is crazy athletic.
Yeah, remember
But
she
ve-
was in
but
the
very,
Royal
very
Rumble,
small.
and she was climbing the pole and stuff.
Yeah.
I think she's too small.
That's part of her- that's part of her-
She's awesome, like athletically, but she looks like a 12-year-old boy. I'm not trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But she just.
I mean,
like,
she looks
she's
smaller than
so
AJ Lee.
thick, skinny.
Yeah, she's smaller than Sasha. She's smaller than Alexa. It's like, this is a little bit too much here.
Yeah. And then speaking speaking of great
go ahead.
segments. Speaking of great segments,
Boy,
this is
you
horrible.
had the Newly
Oh.
Bro show.
So, some people can't do comedy.
This is the only thing I've seen. I've seen it like on YouTube, but that was like about it.
It's not good.
A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about the wrestlers that got fired. I brought up how EC3 and Daniel Bryan did something very similar to this, but they worked it beforehand so that every answer was Steve Blackman. That was a million times funnier than this.
Yeah. The only one that was actually somewhat funny was when the threesome one was kind of funny.
The threesome on the washer, yeah, that was funny.
yeah. But besides that, the rest of it fell very funny.
And then Imperium beat the hell out of them. So that's your
Maybe it
next
would
match.
have been better with the crowd. Do you think? Maybe they would have got into it a
Maybe.
little bit. Because
I think the crowd.
could he fry? That thing kind of seems like it would be super lame, but the crowd.
Yeah.
would do it.
Yeah, Matt Riddle does a lot of lame comedy, and in front of a crowd, it tends to work.
Yeah, the crowd would have ate that up, and it would have been everyone would have gone crazy. But I don't know. Yeah, it didn't do nothing for me.
Nah, I didn't like it.
But then they had another match plugged after this for next week. It's going to be Adam Cole and Velveteen Dream for the NXT title. So I guess there was that little bit of controversy with Velveteen Dream. It seems like nothing's happening with that as of now.
Or they're just going to go out and Velveteen Dream's going to get smushed and on to the next feud.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear anything for a couple of days, so I think it was false, or who knows.
Yeah, it seems like it's unless something breaks, it seems like it's just a blip. And then for the women's title, Charlotte Flair beat Mia Yim in a non-title match.
Good match.
Real quick though, just imagine Dream wins next week. He's like, "This is for all the teams," and I'm like, "Fuck."
This is all my fans. What school do you go to?
They got to change his name to the
Write me online. Let me know what school you go to.
Hit me up on
They're,
Snapchat.
They got to change his name to the Velvet Consenting Adult Dream. That's going to be his new name.
Yeah.
I think Adam Cole's going to keep it, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think so.
I would say if you're going to switch the title, wait till, I don't know, there's going to be a takeover, but I don't know, an NXT match on a pay-per-view if they have that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem with if anything where it's like, oh, you have to wait until we can have a crowd, that might be 6 months, a year from now. So you don't know.
Which I would love another year of Adam Cole being champion, like really having be a long reigning ass champ. That'd be great.
Yeah, it would be.
And then he lose the belt, and then he'll come back to life in AEW.
Yeah.
There you go.
Here's the thing.
Well, that's the thing. I think his contract is up later this year, so there might be a little bidding more there.
Yeah.
I would think there would be. I would say if they want two people out of the whole company, they want it's him and Kevin Owens.
Man, I love
you know,
Adam Cole. I love Adam Cole. But I think if there's anyone that I think at this point in time I would want to jump ship and go to a different promotion, it would 100% be Adam Cole and Kevin Owens. For how much I love them as wrestlers, and I was a WWE guy for the I am a WWE guy, and them being part of that brand is also fantastic. But if they went to AEW, they'd be so much better utilized. Like Adam Cole,
I think so.
Adam Cole going to the main roster just scares the fuck out of me because
Yeah, me too.
they won't use him.
Dude, the only reason I don't
6
think
foot.
it's happening right now is because of this whole coronavirus. I think if things went according to plan, I think they would have debuted on Raw or SmackDown.
And probably been misused. And poor Kevin Owens. I mean, we've seen how they used him for the past couple of years.
Yeah, they made him a joke. They tried.
Yeah, and then they kind of get behind him, and then they don't, and he lost the title to Goldberg.
He's exactly like Rusev, man. You just put him in front of a crowd, he'll get over.
Yeah.
Heel or face, he'll get over. He'll find a way to get the
he's
crowd.
a great talker, and he
Yeah.
can do comedy well, not shitty comedy like we just talked about.
Great on commentary.
Yeah, so I think that's two guys.
Could you imagine Kevin Owens,
try-hafter.
Kevin Owens, Jericho again in AEW?
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Like, he brings him into the inner circle, but then Kevin Owens
It would
turns
be
on him
great.
again. Oh,
And the Killstein kill shirts would just fly off the pro wrestling teams wouldn't be able to keep them in stock.
Oh.
speaking of that, did you see the Britt Baker shirt that sold? That was the number one selling shirt for the day or 2 days?
Don't get me into Britt Baker's. I'll go on a whole rant right now. We'll talk about that in a second. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So after the match, after Charlotte defeats Yim, once again, Charlotte is just fucking fantastic. She's so good. Yim looked okay. I'm not gonna lie. I thought at times she did look flat, but Charlotte just she dominates when she's in the ring. She steals the show.
Charlotte never looks flat.
Yeah. Then at the very end, Io comes out and says, "Next week, you're mine." So it's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting a dream match. It's on a Wednesday night show, but we're getting a dream match. I'm pumped for it.
Yeah.
Thanks to Asuka now, all Japanese women have to come out and yell and scream at the top of their lungs for a few minutes before they say a few words of English.
Which
Yeah,
I love
like
it.
you just say anything.
Keep doing it. Keep doing it. I love it.
Charlotte's like, why is Asuka out here screaming at me?
Yeah.
Dumb bitch.
Her hair's longer, not that funny color.
Yeah. Next match.
Yeah, that match is going to be phenomenal.
That should
I
be
can't
good,
wait for
yeah.
Io and Charlotte. There was a vignette first. Karrion Kross is coming next week, so that's another big thing for next. NXT is just it's
I
a
fucking
takeover
hate-
level.
I hate
show.
that
You
name
get to
so
look at
much.
Scarlet,
I hate that
baby.
name.
I don't like that name.
Yeah, I'm
either.
excited
Dead
about that,
Cross.
but I hate the name.
Carrion is a dead body that animals feast on.
Yeah. I don't care.
So bad.
I don't even care if he's good in the ring. As long as his manager's with him, bring it on.
I've actually
Oh,
never
Cross
seen
is
him
good.
wrestle.
Cross is good in the ring. I like him a lot. But
I've seen her wrestle. I
hate
haven't
the
seen
name.
him wrestle.
I've seen her beat Christina Marie.
Mm,
She
I
sat,
wasn't there for that one.
she sat in her face.
Ooh.
It was awesome.
jealous.
It was
Ben passed out.
Yeah, Ben almost had a fucking heart attack. A good thing Ben wasn't there for fucking
Katie Forbes.
Katie Forbes.
I almost had a heart attack for that.
Ben would have had to walk out with a t-shirt tied around his waist.
So wait, I wasn't there for that either. So Scarlett sat on her face.
They try to do a quick roll up, like she tried to do a roll up, and
Yeah.
then instead of
Uh-huh.
like rolling up, she just sat down on it. And when the ref
Yeah,
was
this-
distracted, she held onto the top rope, so she had leverage on the pin, and she beat.
Do
Christina.
you think a certain television champion was like, "Don't wash your face"?
I know I would have.
Yeah, I would have given a lot of kisses.
Come here, good match. Yeah,
Also next week on NXT, Finn Balor will be confronting his attacker from last week.
is
I guess
it
the Walter thing's on hold.
is it going to be a surprise
Yeah,
on who it
this-
is?
Probably, yeah. I don't think it's gonna be Walter because, like Andy just said, he's stuck in Austria wherever he is now.
Yeah. So I would think
Yeah,
it's somebody, not somebody necessarily new, but maybe coming back. Or watch it be Tyler Breeze.
Fandango jumped.
I'm trying to think who it really will be because it's confusing. They just turned him face out of nowhere. So I'm assuming he's a heel, but sure, I don't know. Maybe Cross attacked him too. He attacked Champ and he attacked him too.
Could be.
Drake Maverick. He's doing everything in his power to get signed.
Tyler Bate. I mean, you would have to draw some.
Wasn't Tyler Bates stuck in England too?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
assume
he's
so.
stuck.
All the UK guys are, so unless one got over.
Here's a guy it might be, even though he was kind of a babyface last week. Dexter Loomis beat Shane Thorne.
I can see that.
Dude,
No, what?
all right.
What was his name in TNA? Or
Sam
Impact?
Shaw.
Okay, I think I've seen him once.
I'm into this Dexter Loomis guy.
I'm into him too, yo. I love it.
Because he's possibly a murderer.
Yeah, I just love it, dude. Those
He's
dead
so
eyes,
creepy.
those dead eyes, and like how he was petting Shane Thorne's face after he killed him. Like I was like, dude, I need a T-shirt with this dude's face on it. If Ben grew a mustache and was 7 foot tall, he'd have those dead eyes.
with his Stranger Things music too.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, his entrance music is great.
And I don't want to pull. I'm not saying this to take a shot, but like I did make a call a while back saying I think it's possible to see more people going back to NXT, and it won't be so much a demotion. It'll be, NXT is its own thing.
If I was in the roster, I'd be like, yes, please send me to NXT.
And I remember we debated who would go back, and some of the names that we said were like, yeah, no fucking way, they're too big. And then like Finn went back, Charlotte's now back. Like maybe Finn's attacker could be someone coming back down. Like
Cesaro?
I don't know.
That'd be good.
I mean, Kevin Owens. Maybe Kevin Owens is going to end his a little bit to go. Like, I think just Kevin Owens is built for NXT right now.
Well, you had your chance to do that when he was in the War Games, and it didn't.
Yeah, it'd be dumb to pull the trigger now.
I mean, they might, but you never know, because it seems like the Wednesday night audience would like to watch Kevin Owens. So
Yeah.
I mean, trying to pull some.
I would
people
put.
away from
I would somehow put Kevin Owens on Wednesday nights against AEW. I think it would help. You're not using him on Raw or SmackDown, and he's going to go there and get smushed by everybody
And
again.
he lives in Florida, I think, so I don't know why they're not using him.
Yeah, I think it's a dumb move.
Yeah.
Just to think, maybe just to maybe speculate on more on the Finn Balor thing. It could be somebody going back down. You never know. Maybe AJ Styles goes back and he attacks Finn Balor.
He's dead.
He's dead. Yeah, well, he's not dead in NXT. He's back. He's alive and well.
It's going to be zombie AJ Styles. It's going to be like the zombie from ECW.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He comes out like a mummy. He comes out like AJ with toilet paper wrapped around him.
The Yeti.
He would still be fantastic. He would still be phenomenal. All right, next match.
Then we had another match in the Cruiserweight Championship round robin. Drake Maverick, the recently relieved of his duties, Drake Maverick, defeated Tony Nese to go to 1-1.
I'm a big Tony Nese fan. Like, the only problem is his ring gear this week was terrible. It looked like he was wearing a bra.
Really, I have to go back. I didn't see that match.
His ring jacket?
Yes.
Are you talking about?
Horrible.
He always wears that. It's to show off his abs. He always wears that.
It's terrible. Stop wearing that.
I have to see it. Does it look like Tanahashi's?
It
Yes,
looks like
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
it literally is a deep V cut, buttoned right at the bottom. Then it opens up at the abs, and then it flows like a tuxedo cape, and then it's long sleeved. So it literally looks like it's like a chick's jacket that he's wearing just to be like, check this shit out, bro. It just doesn't look good. I don't like it, and I like Tony Nese, and I understand why he's 0-2 because he's a former champion and he's trying to put people over. But I like that guy a lot. I think he's really fun to watch.
Yeah, and Maverick had some good fire. At the end, he's beaten up, but he gets the win, and he cuts that passionate babyface promo, setting up for. I don't think it's next week, but he's going to be doing a match against Kushida next.
That should be great.
And I was wrong. There were only 2 Cruiserweight tournament matches this week. And then the main event for this week was Keith Lee defeating Damian Priest to retain the title. Damian Priest doesn't do a whole lot for me.
Yeah.
He never did anything for me.
People love this
I'm looking
match.
at Tony Nese's jacket right now, and I think it does look super.
It didn't do much
bad,
for me.
right?
I mean, I didn't watch this match, but like any Damian Priest match, he just hasn't caught on with me at all.
People online are like, I know I'm looking at the Belcher report, and it's like an overall A- for the match. It did nothing for me. It really didn't. It didn't do much for me at all.
Lee's really good, but Damian Priest is.
I don't mind Damian. He has a deep ass. Well, he's like a Scottie Pippen deep voice.
He's like, you ever hear Loki Caval talk?
Yeah,
Gentlemen.
yeah.
It's all like that.
I can't even recreate it. It's on a
I'll
different
walk
octave. I
through.
can't even get that deep. I'm not much of a man. Listen, man, I want to get behind Damian Priest. I think he has a decent look. It's just, I don't know, man. This match didn't do much for me.
Yeah, I mean, Keith Lee's good, but he was meh.
Yeah.
I wasn't really invested in it. Like, I was glad Keith Lee won because I just don't want Damian Priest to be a champion, and I like Keith Lee, but it was. Where does Keith Lee go from here? That's the other question.
Yeah, who knows?
Who challenges him? Roddy again? I don't know. Finn, that's what it's. Finn, Keith Lee. Keith Lee attacking because he wants some more
Maybe
challenges.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? Yeah, and overall, not a horrible show for me. I thought it was like it was peaks and valleys for me. Some parts were really high, and then some parts were really low. It wasn't consistent across the board this week for me for NXT. That's just my take.
Mm-hmm.
And
in AEW,
anyone else have
go ahead.
anyone else have any different thoughts on that? I know Tyler, you didn't get to see it, or I don't know if you've seen it, Andy.
Yeah, only a little bit, so I can't really.
Yeah, that's all right.
Comment. Heard what happened. Read results.
Yeah, AEW results. AEW Dynamite from April 29th.
Very much built around the semifinals of the TNT title tournament. With your opening match, hell of a match I thought was Cody beating Darby Allin.
Yeah, I thought it would be the main event. My friend texted me too. He said, "This is first." I was like, "I guess so." Yeah, I liked it.
I liked the finish. I know Tyler wasn't a fan of it, but I liked the finish. I think it makes it doesn't let Darby go over on a bad note.
it was a little off, which is weird because they could edit that. But I didn't mind. I like Cody doing the coffin drop.
Yeah. Well,
And
he hit
then
him. He
Darby
hit
doing the
the
crossroads.
crossroads. Yeah. It was a fun
Yeah.
match. It was a fun match.
The other part
Yeah,
was
I hated the coffin drop ending. I just thought it was so 96, like HBK Bulldog, where it's like, no, man, you got German suplex pin, you lost. But they're like, oh, but he was laying on top with the shoulders down. I was like, no.
yeah.
It's like, even if you're going to say Cody had that pin, which, how? Cody didn't have his arm dropping on him at all. He just rolled over on his side. Darby's arm was wide up off the fucking mat. Like, his left shoulder was wide up. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
that was clunky, yeah.
Unless they use that for, you didn't beat me fair and square. I thought the spot with Brandy looked a little, Cody's like, he kind of knows Brandy's behind him, and he's like,
Jericho sold the best, though. He knew his wife was there. He got his wife killed.
Jericho, and apparently he did all this with about day's notice, like he didn't know he was doing announcing. He's a phenomenal commentator.
Yeah,
I'll
he
take,
could do that for
I'll take
wrestling.
Jericho all day long.
Him and Tony Schiavone are great together.
The chemistry there is incredible.
Jericho has a second career for sure.
Once again, Jericho can do no wrong.
And then we have another, they're doing these personality profiles on Scorpio Sky, so just a little bit more about him and his career and everything.
It seems
And then-
like they're really going to push him as a singles guy.
Which they
Yeah,
should. I
it
think he's
definitely-
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's good.
And then you had another little thing from MJF talking about how his hangnail is fine, but then he nicked himself shaving and he's wearing a neck brace, which is a very nice touch.
MJF, I know you're not a fan of him. I love the guy. I can't wait.
I was fine with that segment. I thought that was a great segment.
I think they're going to keep
I
it
can't wait.
going, but apparently he's going to be on the show next week. So
Yeah, I can't wait for
thought,
him to
like
come
every
back.
week he'd be like, well, now my neck is healed, but I stepped on a
Lego
thumbtack today.
I stepped on a Lego.
Yeah, I thought it'd be a continuing thing too.
Yeah, it reminds me of almost like the Randy Orton thing where he had he would always tell you what percent his shoulder was at.
Yeah, remember that the updates?
The RNN, yeah.
when he first came.
And then the way this is booked on Bleacher Report is jobber number 77635 versus Wardlow.
Well, he came out. This dude came out. I think it's the one, and I'm like, MUSA. I'm like, what the hell kind of name is that? But like, his name was Musa, but the font for the U was like, it had a real drawn out thing, so it looked like it was MUSA. I was like, it's a stupid name no matter what. But I mean,
Yeah.
ugh.
I just think because there's a football player way back when, Musa Smith, and that's how I knew,
Okay.
Musa. Which is funny. I think he played for the Baltimore Ravens. We didn't bring this up, but Rick Steiner's son was just signed as an undrafted free agent by the Baltimore Ravens.
Nice.
And he's jacked.
Who would you rather?
Yeah,
Who would you rather? Rick Steiner's son on your team or Randy Moss's?
I don't know. I haven't seen Randy
Moss's.
I just want to take a Redskins dig at Brian. we got Randy Moss's son at tight end.
Oh, nice.
He was literally, as soon as the draft ended, it was like Redskins signed Randy Moss's son at tight end. Like, it was immediately picked up. Like, I guess he had an injury that pretty much dropped him out of the draft, and as soon as the draft was over, it was like, great, get him.
Not to make this too football, but if there's any position I'm okay with the Eagles on, it's tight end.
Yeah, that's the only thing we don't have at this point. if these rookies don't pan out, yeah, we're fucking at tight end. All right, so yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You don't have the walking concussion anymore. I
No,
forgot.
thank God. I know people are like, he was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, I never seen him. I never seen him play a full season.
And we have to get to the next part because the next part is amazing. After the Wardlow beating Musa match, you had the Bubbly Bunch.
Yeah. Well, how about the cameos? Did you guys know all the people that were in this?
I didn't know.
I knew
some
a
of the
lot
people.
of them.
Let me pull
There's like two. I didn't know that the small guy comedian, but he was on Jericho's podcast. Like, this is all. Who does Jericho know? In his
Yeah.
catches? The one guy was
I-
Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, former
Yeah.
Guns N' Roses, and then Corey Taylor of Slipknot.
I didn't know the other
Yeah, Corey
comedian.
Taylor.
All right, so here's what we got.
Kevin
we had Lou Ferrigno
Silent
with
Bob.
Stun Gun.
Yeah.
We had Jay and Silent Bob. We had Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Gabriel Iglesias, which they call Fluffy. Virgil, Vicky Guerrero, comedian Brad
That was
Williams,
They
Ryan.
should use Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah, Ryan Nimal.
Now, who's that?
Yeah, they're from America's Got Talent.
Oh, no, wait.
I know the one dude.
Ryan Lee Miller was the guy
With the hands.
with the hand who he doesn't have he had like a misshapen hand.
Yeah.
And he's another comedian.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
they kind of. I think his like. I'm not saying it to be funny or picking on him, but I think that like the terminology of his disorder is like it looks like he has lobster claws almost. Like he doesn't have fully developed hands. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Brad Williams is the little person a lot of people probably thought was Hornswoggle.
Yeah.
Which is what even he said that.
And Ted Irving, Jericho's
Ted
dad.
Irvin, yeah. Ted Irvin was there,
That was
Jericho's
funny.
dad.
My Jay and Silent Bob DVD just came in, so I'm excited for that.
There you go.
And the great Soul Train Jones.
Yeah, Soul Train Joe with his AEW hoodie. I'm like, what a show. And Jericho working out with like his jacket and his leather pants on.
That was great on the
Yeah.
bike, yeah.
Yeah.
So I got permission to make a purchase, which I didn't think was ever going to happen. But I'll tell you what, I don't know when it's going to come in, if it's going to come in time, if I'm ever going to be able to use it during the quarantine. So I've already determined a bandana around the neck is going to be my new thing because you go out in public, you could put a quick bandana up.
Yeah,
I got the Le Champion bandana.
Oh, okay. How
Yeah.
much was it? $15?
$15. And I was like, all right. So then they're like, well, hey, do you want to do the mystery T-shirt for $7? And I was like, you're fucking A right, I do.
Yes.
Because last time I did that mystery shirt, I got SCU's debut shirt at the Jacksonville press conference. And I thought that was the coolest fucking thing I ever got in my life. It was something I would have never bought, but just because I got it because it's like their first appearance at AEW, I thought it was really cool. And then I'm like, you know what? Do I buy another shirt while I'm here? And I wanted to get the Jericho shirt where he's like, it looks like a glamour shot. But I was like, you know
I
what?
think I seen that one.
Yeah, it's like purple and pink and stuff. I was like, you know what? I'm not getting a Jericho shirt because I did put a bunch of feelers out for birthday and Christmas for people, and most of them were Jericho shirts. So I was like, you know what? Whose shirt do I get? So I got the prom photo picture of I have an Orange Cassidy shirt coming in, baby. I got the black and white photo of his face on the T-shirt.
Oh,
Yeah. So I got
is it the one he wears or?
Yeah, well, he wore the new best friend shirt this week, where it's like him and the best friends on it. But his it's not the one where it's his full jacket. It's just his headshot.
Oh, okay.
I got that one. Yeah, so I got an Orange Cassidy shirt. I'm pretty excited about it.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Very
but
cool.
I got my Le Champion bandana. Jericho's a god. But yeah, all right. So that happened, and then we get into our. Speaking of best friends and Orange Cassidy,
Absolutely. Great segue.
They take on Kip Sabian and Jimmy Havoc. I seen this match and I was like, don't really care about Jimmy Havoc, but this was a fun match.
I don't really care about Kip Sabian too much either.
I like Kip Sabian.
Yeah, I don't really
He's
care about
good.
Kip Sabian either.
It's good, but just something just like, I don't know. Penelope Ford is hot.
Listen, as long as she comes out, I'll watch Kip Sabian all day
Yeah.
long. He could be on every single week. And just the whole interaction of Orange Cassidy at ringside, I'll watch that all day long too. The greatest manager of all time.
Yeah, that's Tony Schiavone said. And then Jericho's like, what makes him the greatest manager? Better than Bobby Heenan?
He's not better than Bobby Heenan.
He's not.
Yes.
Let's not get crazy.
He's
It's
fantastic.
funny, like, he says that, and it's like, well, he's not really a manager. He wrestles.
Yeah, listen. There's nothing that kid can't do, which is hilarious because he does nothing.
And the big thing he does, if you look at last week, is he draws ratings.
Yeah.
He had the highest rated segment on Dynamite.
Wow. How about that?
Yo, he's a fucking gold
People love
mine.
their orange.
Dude.
He's
Orange
a star. He is a star.
It just cracks me up because it's like you can do nothing in pro wrestling and get over.
Yeah.
That stupid but hilarious thumbs up he does. Like he takes a steel
And
chair.
he's the perfect example because he put on great matches for a decade and now he's doing this and he's making more money than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like Darby Allin. He was jumping off fucking 80-foot scaffoldings and doing
No,
crazy.
not
I'm just
really.
saying, like, it
No,
just goes to
he's-
show that you can do all that crazy shit, and a guy comes out and puts his hands in his pocket. And it's the greatest thing in pro wrestling right now.
Falls off the top rope.
He was just a straight up really good wrestler, and
Yeah.
then he does this. It's like, oh yeah, that's worth money.
It reminds me of Steel Panther, where they tried to be a legit band for years, and they're like, let's make penis and dick joke songs, and now they're huge. Like,
Exactly,
it's like
yeah.
go against the grain, which we should probably do for the podcast, for the Tornado Talk podcast, or the Dicks and Balls podcast, or something so
God.
stupid, and just be campy. Because I mean, I'm not shitting on Orange Cassidy at all. I just think it's hilarious that he's super talented and he's doing this, and it's the greatest thing.
It's just proof that character means more in pro wrestling than actual wrestling stuff. That's the way it's always been.
I'm always been a character guy. You guys know that. But yeah. So here's our next match.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but unlike Jinder, Orange Cassidy is actually good. So it's okay with
Jinder's fantastic.
Right? The match was pretty good. They did some crazy spots for a crowd, a no people show, like Chris Jericho said.
Yeah, man, I'm really I'm into Best Friends. I like their tag team a lot. They were ones that when they first came in, I was like, they're probably my least favorite, and now they're probably them and SCU are my favorite tag teams in AEW.
And I'll always love Chucky T.
Yeah, there you go. They said they're on a winning streak, so I assume they'll get a title shot.
And listen, I'm not putting down, the Lucha Bros and Young Bucks because they're supposed to be the top guys, but these guys are they've won my heart over. Now we have
and the Lucha Bros are probably stuck in Mexico too, which is a problem. So
yeah.
So we have Sean Spears versus jobber number 86293.
well, before that, we had the video package with Dr. Britt Baker talking about how a role model she is.
Great package. Was that Matt Hardy's wife?
No, that was Rebel. That was Rebel. She used to be in TNA.
Her name is Reba, though.
Oh.
So you see we got that, yeah.
I'd never seen Matt Hardy's wife, and they kept doing it, and I thought, I was like, oh, is this... yeah.
No, she's of Spanish or Latin descent. So
okay. Dr. Britt Baker...
Apparently this girl wrestled in Impact.
Yeah, she was in TNA for a while.
And she is the actual makeup artist for Impact. For AEW.
So I was very against Britt Baker for a very, very long time. And
how dare you?
She has won me over. 100%.
She has gotten so good. Ever since she started clowning on Shivani.
Yeah, ever since the cruise.
And we said that cruise promo was not that good, if you remember.
And it wasn't.
Yeah.
But then it got better after. She got better.
She's just shitting on Shivani's teeth and his belly. And if she would have
I
flipped that
hate
poster
fat
over,
people.
and instead of her Twitter account, it would have been like, hey, baby, call me later. Why did this get here? You know what I mean?
There was a picture. There is a picture of her and Adam Cole in the thing. When there's a bunch of pictures, there's one small one there.
Oh, my God.
So Adam Cole did make an appearance.
I love it.
By the way... Go ahead. Sorry, Andy.
I was going to say, did you see her new shirt, what I was going to talk about before?
Yeah, go ahead. Plug that new merch.
Yeah, well, for her, it's her with her face all bloody, and then she said how Jericho said she looked like Ace Frehley, so she's like, can you put my name in the Kiss font? So it's like Brit in the Kiss font.
Oh my God! Don't you dare tell me that.
It's all bloody.
I will fucking buy a shirt right now.
And it was the number one seller for like the weekend as soon as it came out.
Oh my God!
I was like, I kind of want to get that shirt. Her heel character is awesome.
My credit card's gonna
and the
take
whole
a hit
like
here.
Tony Schiavone, like she owes a lot to Tony Schiavone.
Yes.
Oh, I do see it. Yeah, that is hilarious.
It's pretty sweet.
So here's a couple shirts I'm just looking at real quick. There's the Aubrey Edwards has her shirt where it says "I said two," and it's her instead of the Uncle Sam. I said two.
Yeah, done by the same guy who did the Bloom Gold shirt.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Good for him.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Britt Baker shirt looks like, instead of like Gene Simmons or Ace Frehley, it's literally the circle with blood, and it says Dr. Britt Baker as Kiss, and it's just her with the bloody teeth and the bloody nose.
Yeah, I think it says role model at the bottom or something like real small.
Yeah, it says role model on the very
cool
bottom.
Shirt.
It is that's right up your alley, Andy. You should buy it. I would have done it and just played up. The only other shirt that I really want. Oh, there's a Jake the Snake shirt that looks like the Raiders logo. There's a there's a Kenny Omega shirt that looks like it's called the Omegatron, so it looks like a
Transformer.
Yeah, Transformer. And then the Inner Circle. I'm just looking at the top selling shirts right now, and the Inner Circle Guns N' Roses shirt is
that one's awesome.
That's a great shirt. Yeah. Tommy Tonga. Oh, new arrivals. There's
Tommy Tonga.
Tommy Tonga shirt is a new arrival on Pro Wrestling Tees.
That's how Enzo describes him. Tommy Tonga.
That's his gimmick when he comes to WWE. He's Tommy Tonga.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
He's a beach bum.
I said his name wrong. I apologize. There's a Sammy Guevara with it's like stained glass that he has the panda head on. Not too high on that one. Doesn't look that great. Private Party shirt is on there right now.
What happened to them?
Yeah. A Bushwhacker Luke shirt.
Oh, that's weird.
I'm not sure who she is, but Barbie Hayden. It's her. Looks like her chugging a beer with a lot of side boob going on.
I have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure either, but there's a whole lot of side
Barbie
boob in the shirt.
Black, Kelly, and then what's that? Hayden, just that.
Apparently,
Jess
Barbie
Hader
Hayden is a retired wrestler. She was a former NWA champion. She was in that Women of Wrestling thing with David McLean.
Here's a quick question, because we're on AEW. The Taya Valkyrie has been making a lot of BTE appearances.
She's been on every week for like a month. I guess because she's buddies with Luchasaurus, because he's friends with John Morrison, because they used to live together. But like, you gotta think they want to get her.
That's a good pickup if they get her. She's
right.
Dude, when we met her by accident outside of PPW, super nice, really nice person. Really? Yeah, she was super. I walked up to her and handed her a Tornado Tag podcast sticker and didn't know who she was. And then after I handed, I was like, I said to that guy, like, I just fucking handed Taya Valkyrie our podcast sticker and didn't know it. Because
that's pretty wild.
Yeah, she was super cool, man. She's really nice. She's like, thanks, guys. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. We're like, yo, we had a blast. Really nice.
Also super nice was, and he was playing a great heel manager tonight. It's John E. Bravo, who was like the referee turned manager.
Yeah,
he was really nice.
He was awesome too. Yeah, they were both really, really nice. I walked up, thought they were a couple putting a baby into a car seat, and said, "Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Here's a podcast sticker. We're a local podcast." And I looked at them like, "I'm an idiot. I'm so sorry." And they're like, "Oh, cool. You're gonna give us a good review?" I was like, "You're damn right we are."
So I just looked up this Barbie Hayden, and then she's like not NWA years ago, NWA now. She looks like what's that? Ashley Massaro a little bit.
Yeah. Are you looking at the pro wrestling T-shirt? Because it's her.
No, I just
it's her with her tongue out like she's being provocative, and she's pouring. It looks like a Corona bottle in her mouth, and she's wearing like a very side cut T-shirt with a ton of side boob. Yeah.
Well, she must have.
You need to take a picture of that and show me.
Yeah, it's on Pro Wrestling Tees on their new arrivals. I'll go screen grab. But yeah, so good promo. We're sorry, we're talking about that promo, but yeah,
the Iron Sheik now on Pro Wrestling Tees.
Yeah, Sean Spears versus Jobber.
Yeah, real quick with that promo. If you want to find, if you can track it down on like Daily Motion or YouTube or something, an all-time bad match from Impact. Rebel versus Shelly Martinez was awful.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's her.
That's why Rebel doesn't wrestle anymore.
Yeah, that's why she's doing makeup now.
She did a great job in the promo. She was funny.
Yeah, she was great in that. Yeah.
All right, so Sean Spears. I don't know, man.
Wearing trunks now. The
more you put him on TV, the more I'm like, I'm becoming a fan. Like when he was doing the gambling and then him just being in the crowd talking shit. I don't know. He's growing on me.
I don't know. I'm still not into him.
Yeah, he's not a superstar.
He's a guy for me. He's a body.
Yeah,
like, not like he's here for his look. He's just a guy.
And now he is claimed on Twitter that his new finisher is going to be the sharpshooter. He's taking the sharpshooter is now his. He says.
Okay.
Great Canadian as
all right,
as Jericho would say.
Well, sidebar.
Every Canadian's got to use it once.
That Barbie shirt is awesome. I'm looking at it right now.
Take a screenshot of that and put it in. Help me out a little bit.
Okay, hold on. I'm on my iPad here.
I just wish pro wrestling T-shirts weren't so fucking expensive. I would buy so many
more.
No,
the shipping. Or if they had free shipping.
Yeah.
Or if they did like a buy one get one.
Dude, the shirts are like $11 shipping. So you buy like a $25 shirt and it's almost $40 to $30 when you're done. It's like fucking wow, man. I want to support you guys, but that shipping is crazy. It's crazy.
There's Dave LaGreca shirts.
I feel like you're at a point now where you can help out with shipping a little better. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, it's it's nutty. That's why I'm like I love the pro wrestling crate because it's almost $30 and you get two shirts, and two shirts alone is almost $40 on pro wrestling tees.
Yeah.
And then we have Brody Lee versus Jobber 3. Oh,
Mr. Brody Lee.
Mr. Brody Lee versus Jobber numbers 8. I'm sorry, Marco Stunt.
No, not Jobber. Marco Stunt.
Let's be real. It's Jobber 800.
Mr. Funside.
Yeah. Boy, there was a few spots in that match where I thought Marco Stunt was dead.
That's what he does. That's what he does. He gets thrown around like a pinball.
Yeah, the Black Hole Slam was awesome. I think that's the whole reason why he's in AEW is just to get thrown around.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think
pretty much?
Do you think Marco Stunt will ever hold a belt in AEW?
No.
Maybe a tag title if they do like a Freebirds rule with the dressers. But that's about it.
Before his career is over, you heard it here first. Marco Stunt will be a champion, not world champion, but he will be a champion in AEW. Not long, but he will somehow win a title.
Secondary title, a third title.
TV. I would say he's going to be TV champion before his career is done in AEW. That's my bold prediction. That's my hot take.
One of my favorite stories is that Brian Alvarez wrestled Marco Stunt about 2 years ago. And Brian Alvarez is a little guy. He's I think he's legit 5'6", like 160 pounds.
So he towers over Marco Stunt.
Yeah, and he was so happy because he got to wrestle like a big guy. He was like doing power moves and big like overhead chops and stuff. He had a blast wrestling Marco Stunt.
Yeah, it was fun. Man, they're really going for this. They're really putting the screws to Vince on every time Brody shows up on TV. Like, he's not some dumb Southern redneck Cajun dude who can't speak. He's very elegant, you know what I mean? Just like, and the Mister Brody. Like, so it's just like, we get it. Vince did you dirty. But are you going to build your next career off because one guy fucked you over another company?
It just seems so low rent and thirsty. I wish they would move past it.
Yeah.
That's clearly what he's doing, though. That's going to be his gimmick. He's just ribbing Vince.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think he's better than that. I think he has more opportunity. I think he's a better talent. I don't think he has to latch on to the, WWE did me dirty angle. I'm excited he's there, but I just think it comes off bad. Even Jericho doing the commentary, yeah.
Oh yeah, and next we have the Jon Moxley promo where he's talking about he's coming east. He's thankful for Jack Daniels, his wife, steel chairs. He'll be back swearing and bleeding in front of a crowd soon. Call your grandmothers.
Yeah.
Order takeout.
And
this
we
felt
are
like
live.
a Dean Ambrose promo to me.
And,
yeah, it kind of did.
Yeah, and we are live again next week, so it's not going to be taped.
Mm-hmm.
So that was kind of a revelation.
I mean, I didn't mind the promo, but I'm like, it's kind of a little too silly. I was like, I don't know.
Who do you think's going to be the one to go again? It's when they say, "Hey, we can sell tickets again." Do you think Moxley, like, because I'm champion, I'm saying we're going to have fans in the crowd again? And Jericho's like, "I said no, stupid fans."
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
probably. Yeah,
yeah, probably.
So, we end with Lance Archer versus Dustin Rhodes, and oh my God, did it remind me how much I love Dustin?
Dustin is so good. Dustin Rhodes
he's shockingly
so
almost
good.
the same size as Lance Archer.
Yeah,
As long as he keeps his personal opinions to himself, because he has some dong takes online, but his wrestling's great.
The only thing I didn't like is like we didn't have to gig and get some color for no fans, but other than that, the match was pretty good.
If you're a Rhodes, you're getting color whenever you can.
Yeah. It seemed like they do it every other show. There's going to be some type of color, whether it's on purpose or accidental.
Oh. Yeah.
Man, but not. I mean, when it comes to like flashy, I know the new school wrestling fan likes their flippy dippy stuff, but I mean, Dustin can tell a story in a ring. You know what I mean? We got to see some Shattered Dreams. I loved it. I loved it, man. It makes the match now going into like him squashing everybody, and then someone actually getting offense on him and hurting him and kind of putting him down a little bit makes it more of a competition match next week against him and Cody. So I like, boy, did older
I think
brother.
That's at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, him and Cody's not till the pay-per-view.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. But I mean, I'm sorry. Did Big Brother really throw him a lob to set up for a big match? You know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Yeah, it makes Lance Archer look great too. So.
Yeah.
He has to win the title.
Yeah, you would think so.
He's a big dude, man, but he's fun. Like, I have a hard time watching bigger dudes, but he's fun to watch. He's really fun to watch.
That moonsault off the ropes was crazy. I never seen him do that before.
Yeah. This match, for some reason, but Bleacher Report gave this a B+. This was a fantastic match, man. It was so good. Maybe the only
I thought it was better than Liam Martin.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah, the only thing I would have maybe not have done is the whole throw the talent at the end type thing, because
people think that might be a telegraph of a Cody heel turn. I think it's too soon though.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's too soon. I think you got to finish up him and MJF first.
Yeah.
Now does Brandy stay with Cody or does she stay with the brother as a manager?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'll be the storyline.
It's just one of those.
It's one of those. She does.
The Rhodes boys got to have that extra martyr thing to them.
See, I didn't take it as Cody putting seeds down for a heel turn. I think it's just like it was trying to gain some emotional support for Cody. Like, I had to stop my brother from getting hurt, so it's more like, oh, look at Cody. He's such a nice guy that he went in there and he stopped his brother who would rather die than lose. Like, he'd rather retire than lose a match. And Cody was trying to stop him from taking damage.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
We got another shout out on Twitter. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Cover.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the rest of the football one.
It was Dustin Rose. He said, "Thanks for putting me over just now, guys."
What do you mean? Like my personal opinions?
We got it. It was so refreshing for me to kick back, drink some beers, and speculate about the upcoming season. Just what the doctor ordered. Bros on the Warpath came in and helped that and made it sound professional.
And this is the best time of the year for Redskins fans. They're not playing.
Yeah,
so
there's no disappointment. There's no disappointment.
There's some hope. Yeah.
There's never hope, but
there's hope. Listen,
don't talk retarded.
We're gonna have a better record at the end of the year than you. That
made me think of that.
That's my hot take. That's my hot take.
About the Steelers or the Eagles? Which one?
Both. I'll say both. We're gonna outplay both of us.
I definitely disagree with that. I think the Eagles will probably definitely outplay the Redskins. But I think the Steelers and the Skins might have a similar record about.
I think
7-9.
I would get used to Hurts because Carson's going down week. He's not lasting the year.
He always does. Who cares?
We all know that's happening. Mr. Glass is not going to last.
No, we could never do anything with a backup quarterback.
Yeah, you traded him. How'd that work out for you since? just get used to seeing Carson Hurts on the sidelines because that's
a worker name.
Every year.
Listen, Carson Wentz and Hurts both have had a backup come in and win a championship, which is pretty wild.
Gimmick name.
Yeah, so that's my hot take. What's up? Listen, when the Redskins and the Eagles play, you will be on Bros on the Warpath, and you can defend your boys.
Well, the NFC East plays the AFC North this year, so when you play the Steelers, I'm coming on and talk a bunch of shit.
Yeah, listen, we're down. That's the premise of that podcast. Is if you're an opposing player fan, you can come on and roast, and we'll roast back. But listen, if you do a pre-show, you got to do a post-show. It goes either way. You know what I mean?
Of course. Listen, I'm not a sore loser. I'm used to the fucking Steelers letting me down at some point, so fuck it.
I just feel there are going to be so many post shows that we go back and record with somebody. Either they don't do it, or they go back like, these fucking refs, bro. The fucking refs. It wasn't for the fucking refs. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be really fun. I'm excited for it.
That's most of my Facebook when the Eagles lose a game.
Yeah. Remember that one play and like the first quarter, 3 minutes in, when we got a holding call, changed the whole dynamic of the game.
If we didn't have 16 of our players hurt doing the refs in the freaking pockets of the Cowboys. It's like, what the fuck?
All right, let's get away from football. I apologize. But yeah, so that was AEW. Guys, what do you think? Maybe Brian, what do you think? AEW versus NXT this week.
We just shit all over the Eagles. What do you think, Brian?
I think that much like the Redskins, WWE was much better 30 years ago. AEW had a hell of a show this week.
This is why I love this guy.
And I did prefer AEW. I thought they had some energy. I thought the Darby-Cody match finish was wonky, but that was really good. Dustin put on a clinic. The Britt Baker thing was a lot of fun. The Bubbly Bunch thing was hilarious. Yep. AEW was firing on all cylinders this week.
100%. AEW dominates NXT this week.
And how about next week, Kenny Omega and Matt Hardy versus the Sex Gods?
Fight. Please print that shirt. The Sex Gods? My credit card.
There's another shirt.
My credit card's taking a hit. The Sex Gods, and you're going to tell me I'm not owning that shirt right away?
Yeah.
Heidi's going to have to start freaking making OnlyFans pages so Tony can support his T-shirt habit.
Listen, if you want to follow my wife's OnlyFans page, hit me up. It's going to be her in bikinis.
What's his name, Tom?
Her in bikinis eating food. I think that's a big thing. Is just watching Asians eat food.
I mean, hey, that's a niche. I'll watch.
It's a niche. Yeah.
No, it's the Asian girls slurping noodles. You ever see that?
Listen, I sit next to Heidi when she slurps noodles. It's not hot at all, but if everyone,
I know, I seen that video. I'm like, I don't get it, but
listen, she goes. So actually, tomorrow is our 13-year anniversary.
Whoa, 13 years.
13 years together.
Longer than I've been alive.
That's crazy.
Yeah. 13 years together, married.
1 year for every Redskins loss in an average season.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I cannot wait for football to start. So 13 years together, and I think it's 4 married. Yes, 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hey, you know the overall total.
Yeah. So we're really. She goes, "What are you doing for our anniversary?" I was like, "I'll drive to Taco Bell and get you tacos." And she's like, "You know me too well."
Whoa, hey.
Like that's our anniversary is just eating tacos. But
What
we're not.
a
We're not.
romantic.
We're not gonna listen, man.
Tony's gonna drive upwards of 10 to 15 minutes.
I know how to get to my woman's heart, and it's food. But we're not gonna be able to celebrate till Saturday night because tomorrow we're recording Bangin' Beers. So, beers come
The
first.
podcast comes first. Sorry, babe.
Yeah. Listen, hey, you support this podcast. That's how it rolls.
Yeah, that's true.
Speaking of podcasts, we do have some new merch for Not Cool in High School, Bangin' Beers. Got some new stuff. So if you head over to the Facebook pages, if you're interested, you support the other podcasts, or go check them out. Our Not Cool in High School does feature Andy. You may see some of these guys, Tyler or Brian pop in if they're interested. Maybe not Brian because we record the same night as his podcast, Murder My Dude, which we'll plug in a second here. But go check out Not Cool in High School. We do the Redskins podcast. We do interviews with everyday people, and then Tornado Tag podcast, the one you're listening to now. We're gonna do a new thing. So if you are listening. We're going to start doing interviews on this show. So we're not going to try to cram them into the podcast. So what I'm going to do is maybe book interviews and then put the interviews in maybe like the day before, the day after our episode drops to be like, hey, here's our episode and here's an interview with this person. Two people that we are probably going to start off with is, I know I already did it before, but we're going to dive more into maybe just not so much personal stuff, but just like his history of wrestling. Andy said he's willing to do another one, and then Matt Turner. We're going to do one with Matt Turner. So
I can get a lot of people.
Yeah, so we'll start with our home guys first, and then and those interviews aren't just for wrestlers. If you're a referee, if you're a promoter, if you're someone just a diehard wrestling fan, we can
manager.
Manager. We're open to anyone wrestling podcast. We're definitely open to that sidebar where it's a conversation. It might just be a conversation with me because to try to get everyone here at the same point to do another show would be just too much for some people. I don't want to do that, but if other people are available to do it, we will. But it's gonna be fun. And then instead of maybe doing some of our interviews that we do when we go to places, we'll just do those interviews where we sit down for a couple minutes and hook a mic up to somebody real fast and just do a 15-20 minute conversation. So really cool stuff to look forward to that we have in the back burner. And thank you guys so much for the support. Brian, go plug that Project Humanoid thing you got going on.
Yeah, right now, Murder My Dude is pretty much all we got going on Project Humanoid. I know we might have a new show, Talking Back, coming up hopefully by around June.
Sweet.
But Murder My Dude is a comedic true crime podcast. This week we looked at an old murder from Australia. It was the Frankston serial killer. We played Who Died the Worst with wild animals in honor of Australia. The Croc Hunter made an appearance at Who Died the Worst.
Oh.
And hey, that was a bad one. We actually covered a story from around here of somebody from, I forget where they were from, like Williamsport, I think, where it was a 16-year-old girl and her 19-year-old boyfriend who tried to have her stepfather killed, and they got caught in murder for hire. So check out project209.com. Look up Murder My Dude on Spotify, whatever, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, whatever you listen to, you'll find it. Quite funny in most cases, and check it out.
You guys do a great job making light of bad situations. So when
I always say that it's us staring at the abyss and laughing. That's how I always describe.
So I don't want people to think that you're going to listen to really traumatic stories of murder and death, and they're making light of it and poking fun out of it. They do a really good job of being very respectful of the story.
That's the show.
But they also do a great job of adding humor where it needs to be. It's fantastic. Go check out Murder My Dude. I'm actually a little behind. I'm still on episode 60, so I'm still working on Mudman.
Oh,
Mudman.
Yeah.
And you can check out my podcast, Schmurder My Dude, where I hang out with Bobby Schmurder from jail.
nice.
Andy, anything you want to plug?
Nothing really. I have stuff to plug for the other podcast, but nothing wrestling wise right now.
Yeah,
there's nothing going on.
While you're on Pro Wrestling Tees, looking up all those shirts, look up Team Blue and Gold.
Yeah. If you're over on Pro Wrestling Tees, grab a blue and gold T-shirt. Team Blue and Gold if you search on Pro Wrestling Tees, and then you can also catch Andy on Not Cool in High School. So really fun.
Which you already plugged, but we'll get that double plug.
Yeah.
So I figured I'm gonna start plugging the comic book store in there. So I'll talk about that on their show.
Nice. I'm excited. I gotta find a comic book and start reading. again and use my my fun website that I use.
New comics May 20th, so
yeah,
coming back.
Tyler, what do you got?
Witness Raw Wrestling on Facebook. That's where you can follow me for updates on what's going on in pretty much anything wrestling. I mean, anything breaking news, I'll share and I'll talk about it. So, and
he'll also put it on Tornado Tag Podcast, hopefully too.
Yes, I try to usually post on both, unless it's a thing that might be a little bit too risque for Tornado Tag. Then I won't because I don't want to,
Yeah, Tyler does.
PG-13.
Tyler does get a little creepy sometimes, so we try to attend some of the Women Crush Mondays.
You call it creepy. I call it Thirsty Thursday, aka the most popular day of the week.
Listen, man, maybe we'll give it a trial run. The only thing that makes me nervous of that is we do get access to places, and I just don't want to be labeled as the creepy podcast.
Of course. Well, that's why I don't do it, right?
Yeah, that's why we don't bring Tyler with us to shows. So, I'm
Look
joking.
At this picture, so
I mean, listen, if you're going to bring me, it's going to happen, just the way it works.
Yeah, well, you can check his phone at the door. He won't take pictures.
Yeah.
By the way,
I'll sneak one in.
Not really a plug here, but I know Andy and I and Tony, I don't know if Tyler's watched any of them, but we've been watching those Dark Side of the Ring shows on Viceland.
We got some time. We can talk about that.
But I've watched a lot of them.
There's going to be a really fun one next week where it's going to be the UWF and Herb Abrams.
Yeah, he was a real shady promoter, so there's going to be a lot of craziness. He promoted that Andre the Giant was going to be wrestling, I believe, on his shows, and he was dead for a few years at that point. So
if you ever look online and see the Blackjack Brawl, that was him. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but he meets an end. Herb Abrams is no longer with us. He meets an end that is quite interesting.
Oh, so definitely, and that comes out.
Don't spoil that.
What day does that come out?
It comes out Tuesday nights, but you can find it on YouTube on Wednesday morning.
Sometimes
four hours after the show.
Yeah, it is also on Hulu as well. You can watch it on Hulu.
Oh, is it on? I didn't know it was on Hulu. Wow.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know it was on Hulu either.
Yeah, I'll watch it on the HD there. I did not know that. I watched the Dr. D one, as did Brian. It was very, very good.
Is that the Dino Bravo? The Dr. D?
No. Dr. D. David Schultz. He was a wrestler in the late 70s, early 80s.
I didn't see that one.
So, by the way,
it's really good.
Andy, you saw the Dino Bravo one, right?
Yes.
You might not have even noticed this, but at the very end, they're showing his career. And they're showing all these clips, and he's wrestling this jobber. It's a black dude. And he almost kills this guy. He does a back suplex, and the guy comes down right on his goddamn head.
I just rewatched Kevin Nash powerbombing the Giant in WCW. You guys remember when he almost broke his damn neck?
Yeah.
How about when Sid Vicious went to powerbomb somebody in the cage and his fucking feet in the top?
Pillman, yeah.
Oh my god!
I was gonna bring that one up. It's like boom, and then he drops him. It's like, oh, that's double bad.
Yeah, Pillman legit got knocked out on that. Another really bad one from I think the first year or so of TNA was AJ Styles and Frankie Kazarian, and Kazarian tucked his chin taking the Styles Clash, and he's like crunch, and it looked like his neck snapped, but he obviously was okay.
That was the time where they almost decided that move might be banned, right?
That was after he did the Yoshitatsu.
Yeah,
the guy from England.
He hurt a couple people after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll give you a quick rundown. So you have the very first episode. There's not too many, and they're only 45 minutes long for the most part. So they are quick watches.
Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring. So the first episode is Match Made in Heaven, which is the story between Macho Man and Elizabeth. I did see that one.
That was season 1, yeah.
That was season 1.
Then the next, I'm just gonna go through the lineup because season 1 is only like 4 or 5 things, and then they're not very. They're quick. Then season 1 episode 2 is the Montreal Screwjob.
Great episode, loved it.
You've seen it. Here's the thing: 9 times out of 10, if you've heard the Montreal Screwjob, you've heard it. But they do a good job of giving you maybe a little bit more that you didn't know, or some other wrestlers' insight to it. Like it was kind of interesting to see Scott Hall's insight and stuff on it.
Yeah, and that one went very heavy into the Jim Cornette versus Vince Russo thing.
Yes. Yeah. Listen, man, I'll get to it in a second. I don't want to. I got to be careful how I word this so I don't get hate mail. Then the next one was the killing of Bruiser Brody. That was a good episode.
I love that one.
Yeah. The last.
I really want to know how you were going to word that.
What? Bruiser Brody?
Is that the one you're talking about, or the next one?
No. There's a trend that happens in Dark Side of the Ring that I want to get to once I get to these episodes. This one I didn't see, but I want to because there's a guy on this team that I didn't know was part of this family dynasty that I was a huge fan of as a kid, and then as a kid I was like, whatever happened to this guy? The last of the Von Erichs. I was a huge Texas Tornado fan.
Wow.
That's a great episode. That's probably my favorite.
That was really good.
That's my favorite episode so far, actually.
There's a DVD that WWE put out, the Rise and Fall of WCCW World Class Championship Wrestling. It's all about Von Erichs, basically.
They always say that Hulk Hogan was Vince's second choice, that Kerry was the guy who really wanted, but he wouldn't jump.
And Kerry was the Texas Tornado?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, when I seen him as a kid, I was obsessed. I was like, this dude is fucking awesome. I was just a big fan of him.
And he was a shell. He was a shell of himself at that point because he was hurt. He was missing a foot at that point.
Yeah, he was missing a foot at that time, which you would never know. I didn't know until I watched that episode.
He had a prosthetic foot?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was in a motorcycle accident, and then he tried to walk on it too soon, and he broke his foot. They had to amputate it. Nobody knew until a match in Texas where one of the heel managers tried to pull his foot to trip him, and he pulled his boot right off.
I have to watch this one. I have to go back and watch it. Yeah,
Von Erich wanted.
Now he does. Spoiler alert, maybe Texas Tornado did kill himself, right? He took his own life.
Yeah. He was facing jail time, and he didn't want to go to jail, so he shot himself in the chest. Yeah.
Now, poor family.
Yeah.
Only one brother survived.
Yeah, I definitely got to go back and watch that. Now this one,
and by the way, we plugged MLW earlier. The Von Erich sons, Kevin, the one that's still alive, Kevin Von Erich. His sons, Ross and Marshall, are in MLW.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
His daughter, or Lacey.
Carrie's daughter. Lacey is Carrie's daughter.
She gorgeous. She couldn't wrestle worth a lick.
Yeah. And then this episode was absolutely fantastic. The mysterious death of gorgeous Gino.
Yeah, Gino Hernandez. Yeah.
Holy shit. Now, where in the timeline, because I'm not, like I said, I'm still catching up when it comes to some past episodes. Brian and you guys can probably help me out. But Jeff would have been fantastic with this, because I think Jeff was a big fan of Gino Hernandez. Where did he lie on the Flair timeline? Is he is he before Flair, or like, because he had
the same time,
but they were in different companies at that point. Gino really came around in like the mid 80s, like 82, 83, 84, 85. And at that point was when Gino was in World Class, or no, he was in Houston, because there was always this rumor that Paul Bosch, the promoter in Houston, was his dad. Yeah, which nobody knows for sure. Mm-hmm. By the way, Paul Bosch was a lifeguard in New York before he was a promoter in Texas.
Wow.
And one of the people that was always on the beach with him went on to become Helen Hart.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
So there is a deleted scene from that episode where they interview Gino's mom, and she's like, I would have been 16. I didn't even know who Paul Bosch was.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always just one of those rumors. Like, they always said that Dustin Rhodes was Dick Murdoch's kid, not Dusty's.
Yeah.
Clearly he's Dusty's kid.
But man,
if you look at Dick Murdoch, he looks a lot like him too.
Yeah. If you go back and look at this Gino Hernandez as a heel, you have to realize in wrestling at that time, if you played a heel too good, people fucking would try to hurt you. Like, they would legit pull weapons on you. And he didn't give a shit, man. He was a good fucking heel. He was MJF meets Flair 10 years ago. Like, not 10 years, years and years before 30. That. But 30 years before that. Like, he was just unbelievable.
And Gino wound up being in World Class with the Von Erichs. That's why I was bringing that up, because that was separate from the NWA and Flair. At the point, like, Gino became a big star.
I just didn't know if Gino got it from Flair or Flair got it from Gino. That's where
they both got it from Buddy Rogers. Really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everybody stole that gimmick from Buddy Rogers.
Yeah, it was like a decadent '80s lifestyle that they added to it.
Jesus Christ!
He could back it up though. He had the pictures with him and Farrah Fawcett. That was legit.
Yeah, he was a monster, dude. This dude was awesome. And then his I guess I won't get into it, but a lot of people think that maybe he was murdered. But I think at the very end, you kind of maybe.
And they always Bruce Pritchard has always said this too, because Gino came up in Houston. That's where Bruce came up too.
Yeah, Bruce was like 16 years old, helping out, doing anything he possibly could at that point.
That was probably going to wind up being the $1 Million Man if he doesn't die.
Oh,
Ted DiBiase was more of a straight-laced wrestler in Mid-South. Gino Hernandez would have fit the $1 Million Man like a glove.
Yeah, it's a shame, because he was unbelievable. You know what he reminded me of a lot too? Like, when I watched it, I was like, oh, I can see this person trying to be him a little bit. Like, Rick Martel a little bit when he came to WWE, and he was trying to do like that style, like the pretty boy, but like the low
the
budget,
model?
like the model, like
the
the
model, yeah.
low budget flair kind of. But yeah, Gino Hernandez, man, I want to go back and watch more of him because he was, just from what I seen in that documentary, fantastic. That's definitely a great watch. The next one is the Fabulous Moolah episode.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I didn't see that one either. Then we had a two-parter. I think this is where everyone, if you didn't watch the episodes before, this is where everyone jumped on with season 2, was the Chris Benoit part 1 and part 2. Unbelievable. And season 2 is all narrated by Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
Where season 1, I think, was all narrated by
Dutch Mantel and
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh yeah, Mick too.
Yep. And then the next episode didn't do much for me. Maybe it just reaffirmed the fact that I just didn't like this person more. The Life and Crimes of New Jack. Yeah, that documentary.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That documentary did not make me like New Jack anymore.
I don't think anybody did.
Yeah, Brawl for All. Now this
I
is
gotta watch that one.
really good. Now here's the thing. I know we said on the show, like, I can't stand this guy. I fucking hate him. But the more I watch Dark Side of the Ring and I hear his actual personal love for the wrestling business, and I think I don't know. Do I say he gets a bad rap? Do I think he's racist? Do I think he's sexist? Do I think he's a piece of shit? I don't know, man. I don't, because he's a walking embodiment of professional wrestling. I might be a Jim Cornette fan. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people hear what somebody else says about Jim Cornette rather than what Jim Cornette actually said.
Yeah.
And then, like a politician,
you can have
like,
two
I
things
don't
be
like
true as well. Like, Jim can be great, but also say some dumbass shit. Like, that's just the truth.
Yeah.
And Jim Cornette also owns, I believe it's every Avengers comic up to like issue 300.
Wow. Yeah, dude, Jim Cornette is listen.
He knows his stuff.
He does.
I would love to hear Jim Cornette shoot about the Avengers, dude. Oh my god.
Wouldn't that be awesome? God damn, the fucking time, man.
You gonna tell me the Hulk's a big pussy in this movie? God damn it. But man, he's like, the best quote of the Brawl for All is, I want to live long enough. I want to outlive. I want to outlive fucking David Russo, so I can piss on his Vince Russo, so I can piss on his grave.
They despised it. And it's gotten worse because they kind of coexisted in TNA, and then he blames Russo for getting him fired from TNA.
Oh my god, yeah, crazy. Then I did watch this one because it does hit close to home here. A lot of this did take place in our own backyard. Jimmy Snuka and the Death of Nancy. Is it Argentina?
Downtown.
Argentina.
Yeah. Man, was she gorgeous? She was a pretty girl.
Yeah, she was.
Very pretty.
What was she doing with Jimmy Snuka? Yeah, he was jacked, but he was an ugly guy.
Yeah.
I can say that because he killed it.
Nah, I think young Jimmy Snuka was a good-looking dude.
I don't know.
I don't know about that.
Tamina Snuka's hot too, so that's what
Tony has.
You have a type, Tony.
No, when young Tamina I didn't say she was hot. I just said I think sometimes WWE makeup does someone not just, like, it doesn't do them justice. Like Tamina, when she's just in normal outside of the ring, she's not terrible looking. And when before she had her injuries and she did put on a little weight, which I'm not, listen, it happens. I'm fat as fuck. Who am I to tell anybody? But she looked like a younger, like, when she was younger, she looked like Mercedes Martinez a little bit. And I thought, I think she's, I don't know. I'm not getting into it, but anyway, I didn't. And then after that, I didn't see the next two: the assassination of Dino Bravo, and then the David Schultz slap heard around the world.
Yeah. I haven't seen the last two either. I seen bits and pieces of the David Schultz one, like on YouTube, like I've seen like the trailer and stuff.
Yeah.
They're both very good. I thought.
It out, yeah.
And then I believe it's going to end.
John Stossel. You will hate John Stossel.
Yeah,
really.
John Stossel is totally the heel, and Eddie Mansfield.
And then it's going to end with Owen Hart, from what I'm hearing.
Well, there's Herb Abrams, and then there's, I think, one more than Owen
Road
Hart.
Warriors.
Road Warriors. That's
oh shit! Show. Yeah, so season 2 they went a little longer.
And I'm assuming they're going to get a season 3 because
it's Viceland size for the show.
Dude, it's killing it. It's such a good show. So good.
Talks to the guys.
Yeah.
It's very good. Yeah, I think even if you don't like wrestling, if you just like kind of like crime, sometimes murder, you would be interested
You don't have to be a pro wrestling fan. These are just here's my thing. If you're a fan of Joe Exotic's story and you're like, man, how much crazier can it get?
By the way,
watch Dark Side of the Ring.
Thank you for bringing him up.
Go ahead.
That was another person in the Bubbly Bunch thing.
Wait, what?
Oh, someone from Tiger King.
The guy who was on the jet ski, the fat dude who was on the jet ski, and that was one of the guys in the Manitoba Melee.
Oh my god, awesome! I did not know that.
But
yeah, but if you just
Like
like
just something,
if
yeah.
you just
Not-
like
not the
insane
one just,
stories
yeah.
where you're like, how much crazier can this get? Dark Side of the Ring, even if you're not a pro wrestling fan, is a must watch.
Yeah, I think so.
And they got a long way to go before they run out too. There's a lot of
Oh
crazy stories.
my
Jesus
God, there's all
Christ.
kinds of stories.
Yeah.
If you subscribe to JR, to the Growing JR podcast, Conrad interviews the two producers of the show every week about that episode. And it's very good. Conrad helps them get numbers and too. Apparently, they want to contact Mr.
Oh,
T
that's awesome.
for
I didn't know that.
the Dr. D show, and they couldn't find Mr. T. And Conrad's like, I would have given you his number. So Conrad got all the connections, so he does help them guys out. And then if you listen to that podcast, it's usually about 45 minutes, and he talks to them about how the show came about, what they couldn't do. He said Jim Cornette cut a promo on Eddie Mansfield that was so good, but they couldn't use it because he's more the historian for that episode. And so it wouldn't make sense that the guy giving the history then just starts running down this guy like crazy. He's like, well, we probably will release it at some point.
Oh boy.
Yeah. All right, awesome. I'm kind of glad we ended on that because I forgot. I didn't put it in my notes and I forgot about it. But yeah, definitely check out Dark Side of the Ring if you're not. It is absolutely a must watch for just good watching. I mean, if you're a wrestling fan,
Even if you don't know the guy, it's still interesting.
Yeah, 100%.
And one of the things I loved, real quick on the Dino Bravo one, is Rick Martel wouldn't participate, so they got the old shoot interview of him just talking about Dino Bravo, how his life ended.
Yeah, that sounds like, what are you doing that you're so busy, Rick Martel? But apparently it was nothing to do with wrestling. Like, okay. Whatever.
Maybe that's why he's not in the WWE Hall of Fame. I was like, why don't they put him in? Maybe he doesn't want to be in.
Yeah. Which is okay. It just gave you all your money in your life, so, yeah.
Where do you guys now? Actually, let me end on this, and then we'll get out of here. So yeah, if you guys are interested in participating in the show, whether it be an interview or just talking, definitely hit us up. We do have our own Instagram and Twitter now, and Facebook. So go over and send us a message. Let us know. Let us know what we're doing good, what we're doing bad. If you missed the topics, maybe we'll even do a sad bar topic thing again, because we were kind of doing we were trying to do Dark Side of the Ring, but in a podcast version. It just didn't really catch on because we it's harder to get a flow when we're all over the phone because we step on each other and stuff. But when we get back to sitting down in front of one another, that can change. And I mean, we did change. We went from not covering Raw, SmackDown, and to now covering it. So we're learning. So feedback helps. Let us know what you guys think. And on that note, we'll get out of here. This has been Tornado Tag Podcast. I was gonna say episode whatever, but I don't even know when we're on now. I lose track, guys.
Yeah.
Doing so many shows.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
No clue.
If my computer wasn't going slow, I'd be able to pull it up. This would be episode 60.
59? 60. There we go.
60.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we do have an unboxing coming for you later on this week. Maybe we'll sit down one of these days and I'll do an unboxing for our pro wrestling tees. The theme is USA. I enjoyed it. So I hope you guys enjoy it as well, and we'll have that unboxing coming for you soon. Maybe I'll just do it Facebook Live and call it from there, because I'm kind of fucking sick of YouTube. I'm going to be honest. I don't even give a shit about it anymore. It's like you have 500 views and or 100 views, and you only have two people subscribe from it. It's like, what the fuck am I doing on YouTube? It's not YouTube's not making me money, so fuck it. You know what I mean? So yeah, I might just do that. Just go on Facebook Live. Fuck it, I might just do it right after this thing. After we record this, I'll just go on Facebook Live and do the unboxing. All right, we'll see you guys next time. This is Tornado Tag Podcast. I don't have anything catchy to say at the end. Anyone?
God damn!
Got that double cheese.
There it is.
Double ketchup, double mayo.
Scooby-Doo-Doo!